locked starters from Super Bowl 55 will be back this season. For the second year in a row, Red Sox left-hander Eduardo Rodriguez is scratched as the opening day starter. Rodriguez is now feeling deadness in his arm. Last year, he developed myocarditis after contracting COVID-19.
Coming up Monday, we've seen it. It was Zack Wilson's Pro Day. Now, where will we go from here about the draft? We'll discuss what's changed and what teams can make a move for the number 2 pick. Monday morning on Keyshawn, J. Will, and Zubin on ESPN Radio.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
We made it, everybody. Happy Friday. Another solid work week in the books. And you know, usually on Fridays, not much to talk about, right? It's kind of towards the end. We've got UFC coming up. I'm obviously going to break that down later today. But shout out to the NFL, all right? And shout out to we had the NBA for a little bit. Now that's kind of over, right? Because like we talked about Aaron Gordon and the Orlando Magic. It's, like, anything else transpire? Nothing really. Right?
Rondo got traded with the Hawks. Lou Williams and Rondo traded teams essentially. Vooch from Orlando is now with the Bulls, which was that. Remember yesterday I mentioned there was a Woj tweet that confused me? Okay. He put it out. I think I misunderstood his tweet. He said Vooch was going to the Bulls, not Aaron Gordon. So when I read it, I thought it was Aaron Gordon. I was like, oh, did you mess up that tweet? Because he's on the Nuggets. So.
Yeah, well, and it was cool. I guess it's like Vooch was a big Bulls fan as a kid. I guess he shared like a picture of him like when he was like, I don't know, 6 or 7, rocking a Bulls jersey. So, I mean, at least he gets to go live up that dream a little bit. But obviously the NBA was the talk of the town yesterday. And then all of a sudden here comes the NFL and they say, hey, hold our trade accusations, okay? Because you guys are second fiddle to the NFL. Right, and keep in mind, we're not even to the draft yet. We still got about a month and a half to that draft. But right now, we got some big moves being made with the Miami Dolphins, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the San Francisco 49ers. Kuz, do you have all the details? Because I'm trying to find all the details in one thing, but that's okay. I mean, we can just go back. But San Francisco, they trade up to acquire the number 3 pick. And I believe in doing so, let me check this out real quick, they've given up 2 first-rounders in order to do so. Now, if you're picking at number 3, you know, I've been saying I like Trey Lance, San Francisco, right? But with all things considered, I have a hard time believing that you're going to risk it so much at number 3 to get Trey Lance. To me, this screams Justin Fields. Now, despite what Chris Sims, and by the way, Chris Sims is on one today, Kuz. I'm not sure if you really follow Chris Sims. I don't follow Chris Sims unless somebody retweets Chris Sims. And there's been a lot of retweeting of Chris Sims today. Chris Sims thinks that Zack Wilson is going to be the fit for San Francisco. Oh, I'm sorry. He thinks that Mac Jones is going to be the fit in San Francisco. Hey, Chris Sims, man. I get it. You're the contrarian. You're getting people riled up and trying to talk to them. But you think a guy who's essentially played, 1.5 seasons compared to Justin Fields in that offense that Kyle Shanahan runs, you think Mac Jones is going to be the answer? You think in a Shanahan offense that he runs where you want the dual threat guy, you think Mac Jones is going number 3 to San Francisco? I'm not going to put any money on it. But if I was going to put up a mortgage, I would be willing to say it's going to be either Trey Lance or Justin Fields over Mac Jones. Duh. But in my opinion, I think it's going to be Justin Fields. I think if San Francisco was, they wouldn't trade up that high, I feel like, unless they felt like Fields is going to go. Because Trey Lance could drop to them. Or Trey Lance could drop, outside the top 10. And they're obviously making a move here. So I like Justin Fields now going to San Francisco. Obviously, I think Zack Wilson's going to New York. Probably. Obviously, Trevor Lawrence going number 1. But then the Eagles. The Eagles are making, some moves, too, with the Dolphins. So the Dolphins actually traded back up to number 6. And in doing so, the Eagles move out of the number 6 spot to load up on draft picks for the future. The Dolphins are making a lot of moves right now. A lot of moves. And, I think number 6 goes to show you they're not interested in the quarterback position, which I've been kind of adamant on. Like, I understand Tua Tagovailoa last year, it wasn't a good look, right? If you're a Dolphins fan right now, you're still a little on the fence. Did we really take the right guy in the first round? But at the end of the day, it's still a first-round pick from last year. And in my opinion, and from that, the front office's perspective, you got to see that through. You got to give Tua Tagovailoa another shot. Now, let's be honest. This is going to be the shot this year because you have a pretty adequate defense. You're probably going to address either an offensive tackle or a wide receiver weapon at that number 6 pick now where you sit. So Tua Tagovailoa is going to have all the tools at his disposal and the complementary football on defense to be successful. If he's not successful this year, well, then we'll see you later. Then it's on to the next one. That's just the way the NFL works. But I think he gets a full season to try to prove himself. Now, maybe I'm wrong once again. Maybe, who knows, maybe Trey Lance falls there and they can't pass Trey Lance up. But I think when we talk about a project maybe like Trey Lance, there's no sense in bringing him in if you have Tua there because Tua's still kind of a project. Like, we don't know what Tua Tagovailoa is going to bring to the table quite yet. I get the sample size that we've seen so far. It's not good. But keep in mind real quick, all right, this is a guy coming off of a pretty nasty hip injury, right? And this is a guy who, for lack of a better word, looked nervous out there, looked gun-shy out there when he got his first couple reps. Now, the first start that he had, he looked fantastic. But then those next couple starts, let's go to the bullpen and let's bring Ryan Fitzpatrick in. I'm not ready to sell Tua Tagovailoa out just yet. I got to see a year. I got to see a larger sample size, and then I'll establish whether he can make in this league or not, or if he's going to be a certified backup for years and years to come. From the Eagles' perspective, it's also very telling with this trade with the Miami Dolphins. The Eagles move out of the top 10, and it goes to show you right now, and I'm glad for this one. Like, once I saw the Eagles trade out of the top 10, I got that little smirk on my face. Because everything that I've been talking about with Jalen Hurts and maybe Kuz, and I don't want to divulge too much information now because you know how I operate in fantasy football. Plenty of time to go, right? We're not even close to fantasy football season yet. But you know how I operate, Kuz. I do my homework, man. And I already got some guys, I got some guys just kind of hanging out. Like, I'm looking at these guys and thinking, this guy could be the difference maker this year. I'm not saying it's going to be Jalen Hurts, but I'm not saying it's not going to be Jalen Hurts either. So figure that out. That was a tongue twister. But I think it goes to show you with Jalen Hurts, he's their guy in Philadelphia now. And I think he's earned that right. If you look at the numbers, do they knock your socks off? Absolutely not. But he won some games. You saw it last year. The team responded differently when he was in there. He's got the dual threat capabilities. And really, it's just a fresh new face, and it's a new chapter in the Eagles franchise. I've been very adamant about saying Carson Wentz, I think, is going to go to Indianapolis and have a career. I really do. I think he's going to be an upgrade from Phillip Rivers. I think last year was an anomaly with the injuries on the offensive line. Maybe he's dealing with some injuries. The back and forth of Doug Peterson. I truly believe that the guy that we saw last year in Carson Wentz, that wasn't him. So if that's the case, then we shall see. But in the meantime, the Eagles are definitely going to roll with Jalen Hurts. And as they should. I think he's earned that. I think he's got the mindset, work ethic, and most importantly, he seems to have the respect of everybody in that locker room, which, keep in mind, was kind of a tough circumstance because they had to be on Team Carson Wentz. Look what he did in the past couple years. And then all of a sudden, now Carson Wentz is gone. Jalen Hurts is the guy. It's funny because when you talk about Nick Foles and the whole Carson Wentz thing, there was Team Nick Foles in that locker room, it seemed like, and Team Carson Wentz. Now, obviously, Team Carson Wentz ended up winning out because Nick Foles came to Jacksonville, and it was what it was. So they were kind of forced to go on Team Wentz. But after this past year, I think Carson Wentz lost a lot of stock in that locker room. Now, how much falls on the head coach? How much falls on the football player? I'm sure there's some blame to be shared between both of those guys. But the point is, Jalen Hurts, fresh face, new blood in the Eagles locker room. I think it's going to be a good thing for Eagles fans for years to come.
Who's the big winner today? The Miami Dolphins?
It's up for debate right now because I'm not sure what San Fran's got planned. Like, obviously, Fields, you thinking?
I actually kind of lean toward what you said. I think they don't want to let Trey Lance slip down. I mean, they were picking number 12 now.
Oh, so no. I think Fields going to San Fran.
No, I understand.
Oh, okay,
but you
okay.
said Trey Lance in San Francisco for a long time as a fit.
Yes.
So I was going to come in here and say, hey, you're a good prognosticator. I think that's where they're leaning even more than Fields.
Really?
I think they like Lance.
Okay.
And they might be getting a sniff that other people do too. And you know he's probably not getting a 12 with all the teams. So you have to jump up there. And why? If you're going to jump up, why take a chance? I actually didn't think it cost them as much as I thought it would. It's the 12th pick. And then 2 first-rounders next couple of years. They also get a third-round compensatory pick back as well. San Francisco did, I think. Or maybe it was Miami as well. But bottom line is it was basically 3 number 1s to go 12 to 3. I didn't think that was that bad. Like, if you want to go get your future quarterback, I mean, that's worth it. I think any team would do that. And you still have the 12th pick. I'm sorry. No, Miami gets 12th pick. So I think it's a good deal for San Francisco. I didn't think it was as hefty to move up as I thought it might be. It's still significant. And I think they're going to go get what you said. I think they're going to go get Trey Lance. Maybe it is Fields, but I'm going to stick with Lance. I like your fit with Lance, and they see something, and I think that's why they're jumping up, that they like him the best. Maybe I change my mind over the next month, but I think they're going to go with Trey Lance. Because here's the deal.
It could be.
Here's why I think that. Because if they go with Trey Lance, they can still keep Garoppolo for now. And they can bring Lance along.
But you can do the same thing for Fields.
You can, but don't you kind of get the sense that Fields is more of a right now guy?
No.
You don't? You think he's more of a project sit-down guy?
I mean, I think out of all these guys, I think only Zack Wilson and Trevor Lawrence I would feel comfortable starting day one.
Oh, really? See, well, I don't know about I feel comfortable. I just feel like Fields, wherever he goes, is going to start day one. I feel like Wilson probably going to start day one, and I think, or if not day one, week 4. You know, it's going to be one of those. So, but Lance, I do kind of feel like he's the one guy that you can sit and the fan base will be like, I can see that. He didn't play last year. We still don't have enough.
Jordan Love.
You know what I mean?
Kind of like a Jordan Love from last year?
Well, a little bit better than Jordan Love, but yeah, you know, maybe even more in the Mahomes mold because you got Garoppolo under a $128 million deal. You say, okay, we feel pretty good about our quarterback, but we don't think we're going to get to the promised land with this quarterback, so let's go get the next guy that will take us there, but let's not rush it. And so it really sets up San Francisco for a long run, whether it is Fields or Lance. But I feel like, at least in my own mind, that I feel like Lance is the guy wherever he lands up. Atlanta, San Francisco. He's the guy that even the fan base would be a little bit patient with sitting down. Anybody else, Garoppolo messes up a few times, they're calling for the rookie quarterback right away.
Sure.
Fields, Wilson, obviously Trevor Lawrence. So I think Lance is the one guy that the fan base will be like a little patient with and say, hey, we haven't even seen that guy enough. Maybe they know more than we do.
Yeah.
They're going to bring him along slowly. Maybe they even communicate that to the fan base, say, hey, we really like this guy.
Yeah.
Well, he's a little green, but he's got a great learning opportunity. He's going to sit down. This is going to be a great situation for him. And we want Jimmy Garoppolo to hold him off for as long as possible. We've got him under contract.
Yeah.
But we really think this sets us up nice in a position for years and years to come.
I mean, I see what you're saying, but I can't remember back in a draft where a quarterback was taken in the top, 3 and he sat and like it was okay
it
for him to sit.
It doesn't happen very often, yeah.
I'm trying to think back if that ever happened.
Well, I mean, listen, at the end of the day, Mahomes was like, what, the 11th pick, 13th pick? Was he 13th? Not a top 5.
No, not top 5.
But still, top 15 pick and quarterback usually is like, okay, that guy's, these days it feels like he's going to play.
No, for sure. So like that's the thing, and that's like he was number 10 by the way, Patrick Mahomes.
Oh, was 10, okay.
So that's why like I wonder if it's a little more Justin Fields than it is. Like I know San Francisco they love Trey Lance. I mean I have that in pretty good authority that they're all about Trey Lance. And I've talked about that for a while. But I don't know. The fact that you traded up this high, like maybe other teams love Trey Lance as well. Maybe. We're not talking about him enough in terms of where does he rank next to Zack Wilson? Because we always say Justin Fields, how come he's dropping so much? Well, is Trey Lance rising so much? Because we don't have that sample size to go off of one game in his last season.
What's interesting here is Miami. Why did they trade back up to 6? So they're basically they trade back up to 6 with the Eagles. So
offensive tackle. Or wide, you're going to get the best offensive tackle or probably the best wide receiver.
Yeah, it's a good call.
Yep.
They could get Chase or Waddle, or they anticipate maybe a run on quarterbacks, then Penei Sewell, or you could go get Kyle Pitts.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
And so now they trade up and get that. While the Eagles basically take the pressure off themselves, accumulate another first-round pick as well next year, and drop back to 12. They take the pressure off themselves by the way of saying, hey, Jalen Hurts is our guy. We're not going to get stuck in this quarterback stuff because there's not going to be one to do that.
Yeah. I think from the 49ers perspective, it's, hey, we really like one of these guys, and we'll and I get it, 3 first-round draft picks like that, that's still something, though. That still means something. That says a lot about what they feel about this guy. Whether it's Trey Lance or Justin Fields, Shanahan's knowing, hey, I know who my guy is. We're going to get him. The Dolphins are saying, Tua Tagovailoa, he is our guy, and we're going to give him another year. Let's give him some help. Whether it's offensive line, a tight end, or wide receiver, we're going to get the best guy out of one of those groups. Let's help Tua Tagovailoa. And then the Philadelphia Eagles, obviously, they're saying, it's not going to happen overnight. All right, we got Jalen Hurts right now. Let's accumulate some more picks. We like Jalen Hurts a lot, and let's build for the future.
Well, and here's where the Dolphins, I think, are the winner because they could get a dynamic pass catcher, whether it's Pitts, Waddle, Smith. They could get a great offensive tackle if he does slip, Penei Sewell, and maybe they end up taking him instead. And if Tua doesn't work out, they still have capital enough in all of this to next year move up and make a move for their quarterback or the year after. So now for their position for the next couple of seasons, that if, say, Tua is terrible, which means their record drops and they got like a top 5, a top 15 pick, a top 10 pick in the 2022 draft, and they're like, okay, this Tua thing ain't working. Well, now you take some of those extra first-round picks that San Francisco gave you and your first-round picks, and you could slide back up and get your quarterback, which now still has a nice defense, has another offensive weapon around it, and the building block is there. So I think Miami does win because their options are still loaded, right? They don't pigeonhole themselves at all. San Francisco, I like the aggressive move. The quote to Adam Schefter, by the way, from somebody within San Francisco is, we're not moving Alex Smith. Jimmy Garoppolo. Garoppolo's still our guy this year. This year was the end of that.
Yeah.
And so they're keeping Jimmy. This speaks to whoever they do get, Fields, Wilson if he drops, Lance, of them sitting down behind Jimmy Garoppolo. And, I like that quarterback situation. I like what the Kansas – look how good Mahomes was and is. Yet he sat for a year. That helped him. That it had to benefit him in some way. And I think San Francisco's trying to position themselves for the long haul in the same kind of way.
Who do you think is more of a dual threat, Trey Lance or Justin Fields?
Trey Lance.
You think so?
Yeah.
Like, not even close, unequivocally?
I think I don't look at let me make sure I'm thinking correctly. But I got to be honest with you. I don't know Trey Lance's. I haven't seen enough of him, but I feel like Lance would be more of a dual threat guy.
Okay.
I think he's obviously got a big arm as well.
Yeah.
He's got all these tools. I look at Fields as a guy who can shake people, and he's tough to bring down.
Yeah.
But I don't feel like he's running away from people. I don't get the sense that he's dynamic in the run game as a quarterback.
Okay.
So I think Lance actually can be that dual threat guy or that mobile. Dual threat's a little extensive for both these guys. More that mobile quarterback. When you're asking him to run away from trouble and go pick up a first down, he can outrun some linebackers. I don't know if Fields can. I'd have to check there 40 times. But it feels, in my mind, Lance is probably swifter with his feet. The thing about Fields that impresses me the more you watch him is go look at somebody try to bring him down, and he's a lot like Big Ben and Cam Newton, where you can't take him down easily with like an arm tackle.
Yeah.
He shakes people. Like, he shakes that first guy and is like, get off me. He sheds them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Shake's a bad word because that means he's quick. No, he sheds them. He's strong. His lower half is stout, man, And so people like bounce off him. That's what I saw last year when he was playing multiple times, but I never really watched him and be like, well, he's a dynamic guy in the run game. He can do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he can't. And I know there's that clip of him trying to run down field blocking, right? So it's there. The want to's there. Am I misreading that? But I don't see him as dynamic in the run game from a dual threat perspective as I do even Trey Lance.
No, you're not wrong. Trey Lance has a lot more rushing yards in his career than Fields does. As far as rushing touchdowns are concerned, 2019, Trey Lance had 14. Justin Fields, I believe, had 11. It looks like here. And this was back in 2019. Yeah, he had 10 of them 2019. So, yeah, advantage Trey Lance. To me, that's the deciding factor. because if you look at what Shanahan's doing in San Francisco, it's different. And, you get Jimmy Garoppolo because at the time, Jimmy Garoppolo was the guy, and it is what it is. But I watch Jimmy Garoppolo in that 49ers offense, and I see a guy that does not fit what Shanahan wants to do. I see Shanahan making the offense work for Garoppolo when he's healthy, but it's not truly what Shanahan wants to be, and it's not what he wants to do. So that's the reason why I asked who the dual threat guy is, because this is what Shanahan's looking for. Shanahan's looking for a guy who can run the option, who can run the quarterback read, the zone, all this stuff, who can use jet sweeps and all that crazy motion stuff. And if we can both, and I think we're on the same page when we say Trey Lance is more of that guy than Justin. Not to say Justin Fields isn't that guy, because we've seen him run the ball too. And he's got wheels. Maybe he's even faster than Trey Lance. But I think in terms of the offense that, Shanahan wants to run, I think it's going to be advantage Lance. You kind of talked me back into taking Lance here at number 3.
Well, and here's the thing on the Lance part. Again, when the situation presents, I think Justin Fields the more seasoned guy. He feels that way to me. He's played at a higher level of competition. He's been a star since he was in like 9th grade, right? Or 8th grade or whatever it is. Now, he did sit the one he had to transfer to Ohio State, but I just feel like there's a little bit more seasoned at the elite level, the higher level, mostly because, let's say, Lance didn't play last year and is playing for North Dakota State. Let's be honest. But I think the better and fun prospect, if you're breaking these guys down, and if you're Shanahan, who's kind of this offensive guru and says, I can work with this guy, I think that guy that's enticing is Lance. The ceiling, if this guy does boom, 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 is higher than probably even Zack Wilson and maybe even Justin Fields. And that's why I think they're going with, that's the long-term view for San Francisco and saying, we're going to go get Lance. I think you've been right all along. I think San Francisco and Lance is a marriage that's intriguing.
Well, and you know what? And props out to Shanahan and San Francisco, because we've seen this before. Andy Reid liked his guy. Andy Reid, some people saying, what are you doing trading up for this guy named Patrick Mahomes? Well, it worked out well. Why? Because Andy Reid saw something in him, and it fit his offense. Shannon could be doing the same thing. We give up 3 first-round picks. Is it a little high for Trey Lance? Where we sit right now, we're saying, yeah, it is. But if you really want your guy, and that's your guy, then go get him. More props to you.
Are things about to get wacky over the next month now that we've seen a couple of moves, or is this be it? We'll talk about it more. Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690 on a Friday.
Now, the First Alert Forecast on ESPN 690.
A hot Friday under partly sunny skies today, a record-breaking high of 89. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, 0-interest financing with nothing down.
CGC Water has been telling you, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
Life is complicated. We all know it, and all can use the proper support system. You know what else can be complicated? Owning a home. And that's why Rex was built to go beyond the simple real estate transaction. Full-service agents for buying and selling, mortgage services, insurance quotes, escrow and title, even home repair, all one call away. I guess you could call Rex your home support system and not a typical brokerage. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. Want more? Of course you do. With all that convenience comes reduced fees too. In fact, the average Rex homeowner saves over $10,000 when buying and selling a home. Want to get started? It's never too soon. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. 833-739-4663. Florida license number CQ1057788. For further licensing disclosures, please visit rexhomes.com.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Mirabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Voted best wings in St. Augustine as well. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Mirabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes. At Willie Jewell's.
Join the movement to end colon cancer. March to Get Screened is celebrating its 12th year supporting colon cancer awareness and life-saving screenings. Held on March 28th, March to Get Screened is a family affair including a 5K race, a 1-mile fun run, and fun activities for all. Safety measures will be in place as well as virtual participation options. All proceeds benefit the nonprofit Borland Groover Foundation. Register today, donate, or for more information, head to marchtogetscreened.com. That's marchtogetscreened.com.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering supplies and solutions for every industry, with 24/7 support and experienced staff at over 250 local branches. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
There is a taste of the islands in every drop of Vida de Luis tequila, imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis is the only locally owned tequila in Jax Beach. Support local and try Vida de Luis. Award-winning, smooth, all natural, no aldehydes or additives, which means wake up feeling good the next morning. Find out where you can pick up a bottle of Vida de Luis, Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. Just visit VitaDeLuis.com. Support local and taste the islands in every drop.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. Smart speakers are becoming part of everyday life, so why not use it to listen to the radio? Tell Alexa, Google Home, or any other speaker to play ESPN 690. Give it a shot weekday afternoons from 3 to 6.
Austin Lane.
I want you to put yourself in Leonard Fournette's shoes. Probably a little bigger shoes than you're rocking right now. Shocker, you're wearing sandals, and that's all good, though.
Brent Martineau.
Well, you are too. They're just like, I mean, they're just like, look like
might
Vans.
as well be. I might as well be.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
All these opportunities that come randomly right at you. And, we got this opportunity, and regardless of your roster right now, these are the pieces that we added right now for this year and moving forward, without giving up, in our minds, without giving up too many assets. So I thought that we really improved today, and we have 29 games left. We're gonna make a push, and we'll see what happens the rest of the season.
Oof, NBA team.
I'm gonna put a lot of money on you guys not getting this one.
That wasn't Spoelstra.
No. To be honest, I'm only like 40% sure I can pronounce the name.
Kuz, can you play us a little clip for me again? Just a little teaser. Sorry, I was watching the Suicide Squad trailer, man.
All these opportunities that come randomly right at you, and
I'm going to say. You got any guesses, Brent?
No.
Okay, go ahead and give me Michael Malone.
No. It is Arturas Karnisovas. He is the president of basketball operations for the Bulls.
Oh, I thought it was the head coach of the Denver Nuggets. They got Aaron Gordon. Or
I was actually thinking of somebody Chicago related, because you guys go somewhere where they made a move.
Well,
right?
and also, what the reason I ended up using it, I should have listened to.
But I would have never have gotten.
There's no way.
I couldn't tell you who that guy is.
He's the president of basketball operations. No, but the reason I wanted to use it is because the prep sheet that sends us the audio, they said the audio he was going to say, sometimes you have to make aggressive trades to improve your roster. I was like, oh, that fits perfect with Miami Dolphins. That is not what he said at all.
No, you were excited. Like, hey, I got some audio for you. And I was
yeah,
like,
I thought it was
can't
gonna
wait.
fit perfect. It wasn't anywhere close.
Okay, and by the way, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was going to say, shout out to Miami Dolphins, who have essentially traded a Laramie Tunsil pick in for 3 first-round picks now.
Yeah, and
That's insane.
I love the action, if you will, right? The up and down movement. And,
That's what we call value.
But they have to replace Laramie Tunsil, too, with one of those picks, right? Or at some point.
Yeah,
But
eventually.
they do have 2 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And there's depth at the offensive tackle position.
Mm-hmm.
There's just not, like, super high quality at the offensive tackle position. Like, you're not going to be like, hey, that guy's a 10-time Pro Bowler outside of Sewell.
Yeah.
Right?
I think they go for Sewell.
Is that who you think they're chasing? But they got to know at number 6 they're not getting by Cincinnati. Everybody knows Cincinnati's going to get Sewell, right?
Do we know, though? Kyle Pitts says what's up.
Okay, so you either one, right? You get Sewell or Pitts? Or Chase.
Or
I'd
Chase.
take Jamar Chase, to be honest with you.
You over Pitts?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I got to see. I don't know what the roster is, because they got Mike Gesicki still, right?
Yeah, I say that.
They got Landry.
I say that, but if you think about that
not Landry,
out loud.
Hang on.
Pitts is more of a unicorn than Jamar Chase is.
Yeah.
So maybe it's better to get Pitts, because you can get Jamar Chase potentially even in the second round. Now, you don't know you're getting Jamar Chase yet, but he could develop into a Jamar Chase kind of guy.
All right, so right now, left tackle Austin Jackson. Tight ends, they got Durham Smythe and Mike Gesicki and Adam Shaheen. That's your boy from
baby.
Yep. Where you went to school?
Ashland.
And then wide receivers, what we talking about here? We got they got Will Fuller, Devontae Parker, Lynn Bowen Jr., and Preston Williams. Devontae Parker's the guy I was thinking of, not Landry. What would you rather have? Would you rather wide receivers or tight ends right now, Brent? Like, what would you lean towards?
Well, I don't, you know me, I don't really classify Pitts as like a tight end.
Okay. So then I guess the question is, who would you want to match with Devontae Parker, Will Fuller, and we'll say Preston Williams?
Go Pitts.
Pitts.
Because Devontae Parker's a good receiver. I think he'd become maybe
even
a better receiver with Pitts.
Yeah.
Right? Will Fuller, you're taking a chance, but if it works, it's a pretty good chance to take. Gesicki's not a bad option at tight end either, so you got a little depth there. I think Pitts makes you dynamic.
Mm-hmm.
And so, although I said Chase at first, I think Chase might overall be the better player. But Pitts is so unique in his skill set that you can't find another one of those guys maybe for the next 8 years.
True.
So I'm probably taking Kyle Pitts. Now that we talked this out, I'm glad we did.
Yeah, we got through it. I like it. Yeah, and then Austin Jackson last year was a rookie first-round pick out of USC, but seemed to struggle a little bit, according to he gave up 4 sacks, 5 penalties, and his overall PFF grade, let's just say it's not passing. Looks a lot like my algebra grades were back in high school.
Uh-oh.
So not good.
That isn't good.
No.
Anyway, that's a fun day in the NFL. Do you think we're going to see a lot of this? I mean, the Jets are interesting. They hold a lot of bullets here. Jags aren't trading from number 1. No. Atlanta's interesting. They could ride with Matt Ryan for a while and move back in the draft a little.
Mm-hmm.
You have Cincinnati, who I think is going to stay put because they could fall into Sewell or somebody else.
Yeah.
But they might even jockey and say, hey, we're afraid somebody might take Sewell. We want to go get that guy because they feel so strongly about it. Anybody can trade. All right, I could go down the entire list. But now you're talking teams like Carolina, who's been penciled in to trade with Miami by many mock drafts. Well, that's not happening anymore. San Francisco took that number 3 pick.
Yeah.
So what does Washington do? What does Carolina do? Are they interested in trading with the Jets? Are they interested in trading with Atlanta?
Mm-hmm.
Are those two teams willing to drop back a little bit to get whatever the 4th quarterback on that board is? Or in the Jets' case, do they say, you know what, we're sticking with Sam Darnold a little bit. We're going to collect more capital. We're going to collect more good players, and we're going to give Sam Darnold a chance here in New York, and we're going to load him up with players. So if they drop back to, say, number 8, Carolina jumps up to number 2. Well, you're getting a boatload for that in 1.
Yeah.
Carolina gets quarterback. The Jets drop back and say, we're sticking with Sam Darnold, but we're going to load him up with Jamar Chase, Devontae Smith, Waddle, whoever else, and these other players. Maybe that's a smart move for New York. I've got a feeling we're going to see a lot of action here because the quarterbacks are coveted. When you have 4 quarterbacks that could go in the top 4 picks, and then you have a 5th quarterback and a 6th quarterback, by the way, that I don't think is bad either. If you want to go all the way to Kyle Trask, I think that creates a lot of movement. And then you have a special player in Sewell, a special player in Kyle Pitts, and maybe special receivers in Chase, Waddle, and Devontae Smith. I mean, that creates a lot of potential movement in the first round of the draft. And you know what I feel about even a guy like Surtain might be somebody worth running up there and going to get a guy like that, depending on how they view him.
Yeah.
Like I view him pretty valuable. I don't know if everybody else will, but I do. And what I always say in the draft is, how much better is Surtain than potentially Asante Samuel Jr.? Because if you really need a corner or want a corner, and your next guy is 25 picks later, well, that's a big gap, right?
True. But keep in mind, Okudah was like the coveted guy, and he had some injuries too, but like he wasn't like the best corner last year for the Lions by any means.
No.
You know, and then C.J. Henderson, you know, he was what he was as well.
Yeah, both might have been overdrafted.
Yeah, for sure. And I was on the Okudah bandwagon, and I wrote a song for Okudah for crying out loud.
You did. It was very well done.
Yeah, so I think with the Jets, you know, I don't know, because it's different. I see Robert Saleh, new head coach, going to New York, and like, do you want to have a clean slate, or do you want to try to salvage some things? Obviously, if you go with Sam Darnold, you're salvaging everything, and you're putting your faith in him. Now, I don't think Sam Darnold's got a fair shake. I think the talent around Sam Darnold the past couple of years has been abysmal, and I think he does deserve a fair shake. And I think Robert Saleh would agree with me and says, all right, so we don't need a quarterback right now. Let's give Sam Darnold one more run, and let's give him some more weapons. A la like, kind of like Tua Tagovailoa a little bit, except Sam Darnold has had a much larger sample size. I'm looking right now at Adam Schefter coming out and saying that the 49ers were in discussions with the Dolphins at number 3, but also the Falcons and Bengals at number 5. But ultimately decided to go as high as they could there were no trade-up talks with the Jets at number 2.
Huh.
So the fact that
that says the Jets are staying pat, maybe?
Yeah.
Or they just didn't want to go that high. Or they didn't want to call because they said, hey, it's cheaper to go to 3, 4, or 5, and we like the 2 guys that we think are going to be available. Yeah. And again, you could also say the Jets are not taking Trey Lance. All right? Maybe San Francisco says the Jets are not. They want Trey Lance, but they say the Jets aren't taking him. The Jets are taking Zack Wilson, or they're taking Justin Fields. That leaves us with Lance at 3, regardless of who they take.
Yeah.
It might even leave us with Lance regardless of who Miami would have taken, so I could go with 4. And we also don't think Atlanta's going to take Lance, so I could go to 5. Once you get past 5, now you're...
Well, hold on. Atlanta could take Lance.
Well, I think they could, but I'm just saying these guys have a good read on it, right?
Yeah.
And so they kind of know, they have a feel for what another team's going to do, is my point.
Yeah.
And if they were obviously comfortable with at least trying to get up to number 5 and seeing how it shook out with Atlanta.
I think that the fact that there were no trade talks with the Jets even makes it more of a case for Trey Lance. Because I get it right now. Zack Wilson's the hot commodity. Chris Sims is touting out Zack Wilson like you wouldn't believe. Like it's almost like Chris Sims is Zack Wilson's agent.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the case. I have no idea. But with everything that's transpired right now, it shows you, I think, that once again, I'm echoing back to what I said. Trey Lance might be the guy in San Francisco because there's always that possibility that Fields could go to New York. I know it's not a high probability, but we were the ones that were all talking about how, you know, Justin Fields is the best guy in the second quarterback position, right? Like, we were all infatuated with Justin Fields. He struggled a little bit, and now all of a sudden it's like he's off the books. And now it's all about Zack Wilson. I think the fact that they want to talk to New York shows that Trey Lance is probably going to go to San Francisco.
I agree. Listen, I think you're don't start second-guessing yourself, okay? I mean, you've said this since like December.
Yeah, I know, but I just had a hard time – for whatever reason, I thought Fields is still going to go before Trey Lance. Like, I thought that was obvious. Now, I've been a big caveat in saying that Trey Lance, to me, is going to be, next to Trevor Lawrence, the best quarterback of this draft. I just didn't think a lot of teams shared my philosophy there, but maybe they do.
Well, I think they do. I think they could. I mean, we don't know. We'll see how it shakes out. Heck, for all we know, Trey Lance could slip down behind Mac Jones and get picked number 17th in the first round.
But see, now this could be boring, though, Brent, because now we know the top 3 picks.
Yeah, but I don't think we. Well, we think we do.
I mean, maybe, yeah. We'll see what the Jets trade, though.
I don't know if the Jets are picking, who do they value at number 2?
Yeah.
If they trade to, say, Houston or somebody else, who do they value at number 2? You know, so I think there's a lot going on here, and I think we all disagree. I said yesterday, I still believe Justin Fields is a better quarterback than Zack Wilson. I think so much momentum right now for Zack Wilson. I'm not sure the Jets believe it. The Jets might believe in Justin Fields. And I'm not convinced which way they're going. Now, Zack Wilson kind of fits the Jets a little bit, kind of feel, you think the Jets, you think like Joe Namath. And I think the flash of Wilson is pretty cool. It could be fun. But the boom or bust kind of part of him. And so maybe it fits the Jets. I don't know if it fits Robert Saleh, though. Justin Fields, to me, might fit a little bit more Saleh.
Can you see the Jets trading at number 2 or not?
Yeah, I can.
And keeping Sam Darnold?
Well, I can do 2 things. One, either keeping Sam Darnold or trading with Houston and getting Watson.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't think they're locked into number 2.
Everybody relax. Still a lot of things can happen. Okay. All right. I'm back now.
Hey, listen.
I'm back.
Listen. We haven't seen the end of the movie before the rest of the movie yet. We got time for that.
I'm back. I'm not panicking quite yet.
It's the end of one book here in Jacksonville. I'll have more of that story coming up next on Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
ESPN 690 SportsCenter Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. With the new format for the Combine this year, teams are relying more heavily on pro days, and the Penn State Nittany Lions showed out. Jason Owe, an edge rusher, recorded a 4.36 40, and he's 6'5" and 257 pounds. It was the fastest ever recorded 40 time for a pass rusher, and if you're wondering why you haven't heard his name mentioned in any mock drafts, it's because he did not record a single sack last year. The Jacks Icemen are home tonight. They'll be decked out like Thanos. After the game, you can even bid on the game-worn gloves, which are painted gold with infinity stones, as well as game-worn jerseys. And finally, in NCAA men's news, the Florida State Seminoles won't play the Sweet 16 until Sunday, when they take on the number 1 seeded Michigan at 5 p.m. on CBS. The SportsCenter Update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
The Max Kellerman Show.
The Nets started out the season without James Harden, who's their second best player, and then have played recently without Kevin Durant, who's their best player. Also, when Kyrie joined the team, he and Harden had to figure things out. There was an adjustment period. And so the Nets' record does not reflect, their entire record does not reflect the team they've become.
The Max Kellerman Show, weekdays at 2 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Watch exclusively on ESPN+.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now, Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 2 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week. We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Ever finally get around to trying something and it's so much better than you expected, where you're mentally kicking yourself for not doing it sooner or wondering where it's been your whole life? That's how Griffin customers feel about their Florida-rated AC. They even tell me,
we're never going back to regular AC.
And it's the same for our Florida-rated water heaters, too. It's so much better, our customers wonder why no one told them about it before. Well, we fix what others can't. Tired of having to run a shower or faucet for 3 minutes before you actually get hot water? We can fix that.
Nice.
Tired of Jacksonville's swampy hard water hurting your appliances and hair? We can fix it.
Naturally.
Tired of a tank water heater going bad every 5 to 8 years or running out of hot water?
Yep.
Griffin can fix that big time.
Oh, yeah. I never knew I could have hot water as soon as I turn on the tap.
And my hair could be so much healthier. And my appliances can last longer.
Well, you can, but only if you call
GriffinService.com. 1430-261, 1250-697.
If you're experiencing domestic violence, it is not your fault. Hubbard House is here for you. You are not alone. Hubbard House provides free services and emergency shelter to survivors of domestic violence in Duval and Baker counties. Call 904-354-3114 anytime, 24/7 to confidentially speak to a caring advocate.
All across the nation, we are here for our communities.
We're doing our part to get supplies where it's needed in order to fight COVID-19 together.
It feels good to be out there to assist our community.
I would like our friends and family to know that your National Guardsmen are always ready and always there.
Visit NationalGuard.com to find out more.
Sponsored by the Florida Army National Guard. Aired by the Florida Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Ready, set, go to Arlington Toyota today. It's the Ready, Set, Go sales event starting now, which means it's your time to save on over 400 new Toyotas on the lot at Arlington Toyota. Right now at Arlington, take your pick. A new 2021 RAV4 LE or a new 2021 Tacoma SR Double Cab. You choose. 0 down or buy for just $299 a month. This is a purchase, not a lease. It's the Ready, Set, Go sales event at Arlington Toyota. Shop safely in person, 10939 Atlanta Boulevard or online at arlingtontoyota.com. Visit arlingtontoyota.com/March for full details.
Hey everyone, it's CJ McCullum, host of the Pull Up Podcast. Part of performing your best is feeling your best. Whether it's during a workout, running errands, or just hanging around at home, nobody wants to deal with body odor. That's why there's Dove Men Plus Care, Eucalyptus, and Birch deodorants to combat sweat and keep you feeling fresh and confident throughout the day. It has 48-hour protection and a plant-based moisturizer that cares for your skin. Try Dove Men Plus Care, Eucalyptus, and Birch deodorant. Odor protection that works.
Experience the Dove Men Plus Care plant-based line for yourself. Buy it now at Walmart and Target.
If you're usually listening to ESPN 690 in your car, but your boss has you working from home this week, well, take us with you. Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Austin Lane from ESPN 690 and Action Sports Jacks. Tell Amazon Echo or Google Home, play ESPN 690, and enjoy all that sweet listening coverage.
I was actually I was in Florida when the deal was finally completed. It's a lot easier to do cartwheels on the sand. I'd say that. Rich is having a hell of a visual over there right now, but I was obviously very excited. I think that he is definitely the keystone of moving forward as a football team. So I was very excited about that. And he was just finishing up his workout out on the field. As I walked in here, so he's making progress and he's on course. And I'm excited about year two of the offense because frankly, in a lot of ways we feel like we didn't really get to have year one. So we're excited about what we can do this year with a healthy offense.
Mike McCarthy.
Yeah.
Cowboys.
I thought that was a good one, though.
That was great. Just great. That was a good one. Hey, let's get South Beach Gary in real quick. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. I'm sure he's glowing today.
Dolphins talk.
Now all the Dolphins have to do is pick the right guys. We know how that works down up here in Jacksonville. What's up, South Beach Gary?
I got to tell you, Brent Austin, for about 10 minutes, I was as low as could be. The Dolphins trade out of the top 10. Then they trade right back in. Unbelievable. Able to get another first-round pick in a couple more years. Oh, my goodness. And now, guys, with the top of the draft so quarterback heavy, Carolina is the big loser now. Unless they can work out a deal with Atlanta, they're not going to be able to get any of the top four quarterbacks. And all Miami needs to do is either Atlanta or Cincinnati to take somebody other than Pitts or Chase, and Miami gets either of those two at number 6 and still gets another first rounder out of it. So Miami came out a big winner.
You don't think they try to address offensive tackle?
They got another pick in the first round. No, not at 6. They're going to go either Chase or Pitts. I'm sure about it.
Penel Sewell?
No, Chase or Pitts.
Hey, which one do you want, Pitts or Chase?
I want Chase, but I'll settle for Pitts as a consolation prize.
All right. A giddy South Beach Gary today on a Friday.
Just couldn't contain himself.
Enjoy it.
Yeah,
the Dolphins moving and shaking here on late March as we head to the draft. This is kind of an early trade, it felt like. They wanted to really get ahead of things.
Yeah.
I don't know what.
No,
you don't think it's early? A month away.
I think it's extremely early. I wonder, like, if it's early because there's more due diligence to be done, or if they have to have their mind made up. Like,
yeah,
they know who they're taking.
We get nothing in this trade here. A good friend and long-time peer in the business here at Action News Jax, and many of friends to you here in Jacksonville. Paige Kelton is parting ways this week, and after 24 years here in Jacksonville. And she joins us on Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690. I don't think we got anything in return for you leaving, Paige, did we?
Anything in return. I almost missed my last slot, and I almost missed it, Brent. You wanted me to call it on the 45, and I almost missed it. I had an alarm set and everything.
How you doing anyway? How are the emotions?
I've been okay. Because I've known for months. I mean, for months that I was leaving, moving out of town. But the last 3 days have been very difficult. I've had some just wonderful moments with people and coworkers who've put together books of letters. Brent, thank you for contributing to that, of moments over 24 years. That just it just undid me, honestly. And then today at 5:45 is the Swan song, and they have something planned. I'm sure there's old video of me with bad haircuts and big eyebrows and shoulder pads and all that stuff.
That's unbelievable. That's 5:45 coming up on CBS 47, so make sure you check that out. Paige doesn't ask for this stuff, but she's definitely earned it. Tell everybody where you're going. You're heading out west.
I'm heading out west, keeping where exactly I'm landing. Private right now, but yeah, I'm heading out west and starting a new adventure. Not working on some projects, but nothing right now. I'm going to take some time off. Actually, take a little time for myself. Haven't done that in a long, long time, if ever. But Brent, we had, going back through photos, we had so much fun hosting all those sports specials. It must have been so funny to you, anchoring with this woman who knows very little about sports. But I always did my research, right? I always did my research.
Pro's pro, and I tell the story all the time. I came in 2008, so Paige had already been here for a while. And one of the first assignments, we worked on together was the Florida Gators national championship run, which was really in early 2009. It would have been January, but we were down in South Florida, and Paige and Patrick Cavanaugh, Joe Drum, myself, and so many more. And that was one of the top 3 weeks, of all time, probably, or top 3 assignments all time in my 20 years, just in terms of how hard we worked. We put a ton of stuff on the air that week. And I got a ton of respect that week for Paige, because we always knew the sports guys worked hard. We weren't convinced that the news people did too. You had that kind of thing. But Paige really put on a good show for the news people. A lot of respect that week. Paige worked her butt off, but we also had a lot of fun. That was a great trip.
We did. Hey, those 6 a.m. rickshaw rides back to the hotel. Yeah, that was always a lot of fun. But we did. We worked so hard, and I think people don't realize, especially you sports guys, because you have so many different time slots, and there's a constant. The news comes on at 5, so I always know what my deadline is. But you guys are such hard workers, and we had, work hard, play hard that week, and that was Tim Tebow's last. Wasn't that his last hurrah?
It was, yeah.
It was, yeah.
Well, it wasn't actually. He came back. They won
did he? Was it the next year?
Yeah, they did come back, but didn't win it the last year. That was his last national championship.
That's right. But yeah, all the Florida-Georgia games. I remember my little girl. Those Florida-Georgia games, people who are listening, remember, they used to be pretty raucous. They were pretty tame now. But so I could never get a babysitter, so I'd have to bring my little girl, and we'd hide her underneath the desk in between Brent and I during the show, because people are throwing beers and foul language, and I put some headphones on her and give her a coloring book, and she was actually in between us during many of those shows when we had a desk.
Yeah, that was awesome.
All those little memories.
Good stuff. Well, congrats on a great career. Leave us with this. How different is Jacksonville 24 years later?
It's the city itself is different, but the one constant is the people. I love this town. I love the people here. It's the one thing moving out of the South that I'm going to miss is the people. I miss the waves hello and the gentlemen opening doors for you. And, I miss that. I'm going to miss that. But, I will be back. I'm working on some projects that hopefully will bring me back to Jacksonville. And it will always be a big part of my life.
Well, we're going to miss you. We love you. We appreciate you taking a few minutes. And 5:45 tonight, everybody should be watching CBS 47. Good luck. Thanks for taking a couple minutes.
Thanks, Brent. Love you.
All right. That's Paige Kelton, one of the greatest people I've ever worked with in the business and greatest people that you can meet. And I think all of Jacksonville knows it. Here, so much so, I thought this was really cool and very nice. And I don't know if the other station did. Maybe they did, but I saw Channel 4, competitive station. It could be a competitive business. We don't like to give anybody else a nod, right?
It's cutthroat. I've seen Anchorman. I know how it works.
Yeah, they sent a nice tweet, congratulating Paige on 24 years. And she has seen a lot. Yeah.
Okay, because don't let the competition send a tweet, not have one. That's not going to look good.
We're going to have a video today.
Okay, good. So. Better be good video.
It's a cool send-off.
I could have edited one.
Send-offs are weird, right, sometimes, but I'll tell you this one. Paige doesn't want any of it, but she's earned every bit of it.
Yeah.
And you can't say enough nice things about Paige. And just tremendous journalist, too, on top of being a great person. So good luck to Paige Kelton. We appreciate her stopping by. And those shows were fun.
Yeah.
And by the way, that Miami trip was fun. We didn't sleep much that week. Nobody did. But it was a heck of a lot of fun. And you live life to tell stories. That was one of them for us in this business. We'll be back 4 o'clock hour coming up. NCAA Tournament Sweet 16. Can the Florida State Seminoles make it to the Final Four? We talk about it on ESPN 690. It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special, too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com.
Goodyear knows the importance of keeping momentum as you head down the stretch. Momentum starts with movement. It's pulled from the air like a contested rebound. Momentum builds with steals and fast breaks, and is proven by deep threes as the shot clock expires. Momentum is how we change the game, and now it's time to discover where it can take us. Goodyear, more driven.
So many razors. How do you choose? Dollar Shave Club has a premium 6-blade cartridge designed for daily shavers and a 4-blade cartridge that's for less frequent shavers. And they put both blades in one new starter box. So now you can test drive both. If only it was that easy to choose your bracket every March. At least when it comes to razors, they got you. For more info, visit dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. That's dollarshaveclub.com/gojo. And check out DSC at your nearest store. You got questions, we got answers. Welcome to the club.
Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day. It is the home of the Action Sports Jack's Dream 18, and make it your home course as well. The golf club at Southampton in North St. Johns County, located off County Road 210. It's family owned and operated. Southampton is a fun course to play, and the golf club at Southampton offers club membership programs starting at just $79. With its elite practice facilities and player-friendly golf course design, it'll be your gateway to a great time with the family or with your buddies. For information on the membership programs, call the golf club at Southampton, 904-287-PLAY. Again, it's 904-287-PLAY.
Is your home not feeling very new anymore? Sick of that pink bathroom tile, popcorn ceilings, a stove older than you are? Whether it's repairs or reno, finance it smart with a Honeydew HELOC from 1-to-1 Financial, Jacksonville's hometown credit union, where you can borrow up to 90% of your home's appraised value. You've got good taste, but your block counters ain't cheap. So get to work and open a Honeydew HELOC with 1-to-1 Financial. When you do, we'll send you a free handyman tool set to get started. Apply online at 121fcu.org. Federally insured by NCU.
Dolphins make 2 trades, shaking up the first round of the draft. Miami sends the 3rd pick to the 49ers. getting the 12th pick in return, which they send to the Eagles for the 6th pick. So with San Francisco at 3 now, what does that mean for Jimmy Garoppolo?
I do not expect them to trade him before the draft. I do not expect them to trade him before the season. Now, if New England or another team comes along and knocks their socks off, sure. But I'm telling you the plan is to keep Jimmy Garoppolo right now.
Adam Schefter on Bart and Hahn. With those 2 trades, the Dolphins get 4 additional draft picks, 2 of them future first-rounders. Astros shortstop Carlos Correa says he's turned down a 6-year, $120 million offer from the team. He was hoping to have a new deal done before opening day. He could become a free agent after this season. ESPN's Jeff Borzello reports Texas coach Shaka Smart is now in talks with Marquette about becoming the Golden Eagles' next head coach.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already? Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
I was young, man. I was young, working at CBS, right? I was with Raph in Arizona, and we went out to dinner with Lute Olson, and we had this great dinner. I had a date with me, chilling in Tucson. They were getting ready to play Coppin State early the next day, and then I'm not a wine drinker at all, still am not. We had drinks, we had dinner, we had dessert, we had more drinks, and I was all right. I was staying in my lane. But then Raph brought out something called, and I had never drank it before.
Yeah.
Port wine.
Oh yeah, that stuff is something I'm not touching.
So I drink it. I mean, it tastes like Kool-Aid to me, you know. So I drink it. I got back to the hotel that night. It was like all of a sudden it hit me at one time. Boom! I pass out. I wake up, drink my coffee. I get to the game, and I say, "Welcome to Tucson." And in my mind, I'm like, "Yeah, you are not in Tucson right now, brother. You are on Pluto. So be cool."
That voice is so familiar.
Port wine. Hey, Coos, can you change the ESPN 690 chat whenever you get a second? Look at what he did.
Yeah, no.
Hey, man, you got to you got to in the parking lot.
No, that's supposed.
It's but what?
It's supposed to be our sponsor.
What is it? Is it Hardee's? It looks like Hardee's.
It's not. It's Willie Jules.
Well,
Old School Barbecue down at St. Augustine, Marabella Crossing.
Tell him to unenhance it by 20x because all I can see is
zoom out.
Yeah,
Coos.
zoom out, Coos.
Like we have to tell Coos how to do his job. I mean, come on.
It's unbelievable, man.
He's working on a lot of things. He's got phone calls. He's got
Are
graphics.
you seeing this, though?
I saw it.
Okay. See, I didn't see it until he kind of snitched on himself,
right
too,
now,
as well.
It looks like that one GIF, you know?
Yeah,
the
say
one,
it right, though, GIF.
With the guy on fire, walking through the fire. What is that one?
Oh, just on fire? Yeah. I think that might be a Pink Floyd, actually. Is that right? I don't know.
Nah, maybe not.
I don't know, man.
Bad at describing this. I'll show it to you.
A guy
though.
on fire?
It wasn't on fire. He's like walking through It looks like he's walking through the fire.
All right, I fixed it.
It's not a guy, though. It's like almost like an animal.
Oh, no, it's the dog. It's fine.
It's the
dog sitting in the house. It's on fire, and it just says it's fine.
There you go. It's that one.
Hey, Brent, you said a guy walking through fire. So what do you want me to say to that?
Well, I meant a guy, not like a person, but like whatever you would call that guy. I didn't know it was a dog or like an animation.
I'm going to be honest. Both you guys right now, both be in the parking lot. And I'm the only one that's here.
Now.
Someone's been drinking port wine, apparently, because you guys don't even know what's going on right now. But it's cool, though.
Do you know who that was, by the way?
What?
The audio.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, who is it? You're going to say his name, and I'm going to know it.
Gus Johnson.
Oh, no, then I wasn't going to know it. That was Gus Johnson?
Talking about the most hungover he ever was having to call a game. Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's a great story then. I didn't know. That Gus Johnson, I guess I need to hear him yelling at the end of a game to kind of realize that's him.
That was on the Green Light podcast.
Very good.
Oh, is that with Chris Long? Or no, Chris Long.
I believe so,
yeah. Yeah, man. He's doing good on that thing. All right, Brent. Me and Chris Long go back.
Yeah. How many times have you had him on the show?
Well, we've never had a really reason to ask him on the show. I've been trying to get Kyle Long on. That's his brother.
Oh, you were trying to get Kyle Long on.
Missed it by that much.
And Kyle's back in the league.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
Yeah. Smart.
Well, listen, I make a phone call and I get people on the show, including right now, Matthew
People that
Driscoll.
you work with. Oh, and Matthew Driscoll as well.
UNF men's basketball coach. Here he is. See? He delivers.
Ask and you shall receive.
Right here.
Hey, first of all, Jif is now in a squeeze bottle, so whether it's a GIF, a GIF, or whatever, when you say Jif, I'm thinking peanut butter and jelly.
Tell him it's a gift, please. Thank you.
Second of all, I'd like to go on record as saying that when we kind of announced that Austin was going to fight, they sold out, by the way, in less than 5 minutes. It sold out. Did you know that?
Yeah,
we saw
that. Oh no, we did.
We were just talking about it. Actually,
hey, Coach, saying that hopefully I'm on the card because tickets are $2,000 right now.
We think what I cost you $2,000.
No, I'm saying hopefully we can get in that cage, Coach, because tickets are like $2,000 right now on resale. So we got to get a fight now.
You told me that I could be in your corner.
That's what I'm saying. That's why we got to keep on pushing for this fight coming up.
Hey, listen. This is all natural. The way I love life and my passion for living every day. Like there ain't nothing. Like I don't take anything. Like I'm like this all the time. So whenever you need me in the corner, hey, all you got to do is ask.
Okay, I appreciate it, Coach. I appreciate you.
Well, I test all the time too. So I'm PCR, PCP, and I'm testing all the time. So I'm good.
Hey, we hear you.
It's not PCP. That's not correct. It's called PCR, right?
PCR, yeah.
Yeah, PCP. If I'm testing for
PCP, is what they're testing for too.
I'm testing for PCP.
You might not get in the cage.
They're still testing for PCP. I think it's just
For me to get in the cage, believe me, my niece on that.
Brett Martineau, Austin Lane, Matthew Driscoll.
Where are we going with this? We're supposed to talk about the NCAA tournament.
Well, hey, you brought up that UFC fight, though, here in Jacksonville. It's interesting. We were just talking about that in break. I guess the tickets you were saying they're now up to we have people in our building calling us and texting us nonstop. Can you get us some tickets? Do you have any deals on tickets? Now I know why they're asking us.
Yeah.
I have coworkers I never talked to before. $1,500?
$1,500 resale, and those like the nosebleeds, Brent.
Really? So they expect it's that big of a draw. People must be coming from all over the place just to go to an event that's sold out.
They have to. It's the first UFC event in a year and a half that's going to actually be featuring a full crowd. Like, of course, it's going to be sold out. It's big time.
Hey, Brent, can we add to that what you're saying? And I think it goes along with what President Szymanski said yesterday about our track. We have the best track in America right now because of the resurfacing that took place, and the NCAAs are coming back. But he said something really important about Jacks in general, in a whole. Like, people love to come to Jacksonville. So, like, those tickets being on fire and the amount of money that you're going to make scalping them and all that kind of stuff, people love to spend the weekends on our beaches, at the town center, downtown, whatever it is, running on our track, of course. But my point to you is, I can see why they went like that so fast.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. I'll bounce one back to you about that track. And, I don't think a lot of people know this, and I know you're the basketball coach, but there are probably a lot of things.
Hey, come on, man.
Hey, well
I'm more than that. I'm getting ready to meet with one of my third players that I'm going to officiate his wedding. I'm way more than just a basketball coach.
That is true.
Officiants, I like that.
What number wedding is this for you?
Number 5. This will be number 5.
That's
Third
awesome.
player. Yep.
Cool. By the way, is everybody you officiated the wedding for still married?
Wait, before we answer that question, let's go back to what you were going to ask me about the track before we forget.
Okay, because I could forget. But this track surface really is.
I know you. Hey, I've been there for 12 years, bro. You and I have been here at the same time. So let's go back to the track, and I'll remember the divorce. Go ahead.
The track is one of a kind, really, and it does attract big-time events. I believe at one time the story was only like the Olympics in China had the same kind of track as UNF, and it was that kind of surface. So are there some other things like on campus that are so attractive to like the city of Jacksonville that are kind of under the radar? I think if you asked 10 people in the grocery store, they wouldn't know. Hey, did you know that UNF has like one of these very unique tracks that would attract some big time events? Nobody would really know that unless we told everybody about it like we're doing right now. There's probably other things on campus like that, right?
So there's walking trails that go out that anybody can come to. That have I believe there's 7 different ones, and there are some are 1 mile, 1.5, but you can walk all through the woods and see all these wonderful preserves and lakes, and see some nature, of course, while you're out there, maybe a snake or whatever. But so we've got those as well too, and also too, what people don't realize is there's opportunities to kayak and to get to rent those kind of vehicles as well too, to put on our several of our lakes out there as well too. So we have an eco-friendly environmental area where the schools come in and they do it. We have an unbelievable ropes course. Your company can come and sign up and we have a ropes course that actually has a zip line that goes across one of the lakes. So there's a lot of stuff. Of course, the lazy river over, Sarah Walsh was swimming on the lazy river with the guys. But yeah, there's those things as well too that a lot of people don't realize. And when you think about that track and what it brings from hotels and food and all that stuff, but also, too, check this out. Right now, we have about 22 Olympians who are going to run in Tokyo, lifting and practicing on our facility.
Huh. How about that? To get
and
you ready
I asked the guy, I said to the guy, like sometimes you just kind of like, hey, how really good are these jokers? They look great. They look the part, but, how good are these jokers, really? He's like, Coach, I got two guys that are the fastest in there. One guy broke Usain Bolt's record.
Wow.
And he just signed with Puma for 55 gazillion or whatever it was. So, it attracts those people. But Brent, it goes back to what we just said. They're coming to Jacksonville. And it's because of UNF, but they're also spending their money in Jacksonville. So you're 100% right. So only one, unfortunately, has been divorced, and it really is of the 5, and it really is. It's really disheartening, but it's just part of life.
Yep.
So 80% is pretty good.
Yeah,
33% batting average gets you into the Hall of Fame in baseball. So I'm still in pretty good shape, I think, Hall of Fame of officiating.
Yeah, you are doing well. Keep up the good work, Coach.
As long as I don't get below the Mendoza line. If I get below the Mendoza line, I'm in trouble.
Yeah, you might want to think of something else if that's the case. By the way, one other word on that track, it will never see my 2 feet, that's for sure. It hasn't attracted them yet.
But Brent, let's say this. I'm going to tell you this straight up now. I know what your children are doing because I've known them since they were little down at the beach and watching them grow, especially in their sport. And of course, they're both really good golfers too. But that track, when you get on it or you try to work on your different change of direction or speed from first to second or whatever, I'm telling you, you're going to be faster. That track is I'm faster, and I'm being real now. It is fast.
Huh. That's wild. I kind of like
anyway.
it. How good's your bracket?
It's solid, but
Really?
but let me tell you why. Let me tell you why I say that. And you guys answer the question. So what we talked about, one of the biggest things we talked about a couple weeks ago, or 1 week ago, was the fact that it was such an odd year. And we thought the seeding was really whacked out.
Correct.
So now, how do you feel about that question, and how do you feel about the seeding?
Yeah. I thought of you all weekend when I was watching teams lose, and I said he mentioned the seeding is all messed up, and it felt like the seeding was messed up a lot of the weekend. So are we getting closer to being back on track now that you're down to 16? I'm not so sure, Coach. I don't know if Oral Roberts should have been a 4 seed, but they're obviously a darn good team.
They finished 4th in their league.
Yeah. So
they won in the semifinals on a buzzer beater, and they blocked the shot to go to overtime in the championship. And obviously, Coach Mills and I worked together for 6 years. That's Coach Mills. He and I were on the same staff with Baylor.
Yes.
And my son was a GA for 2 years. And I've been to see his program the last 2 years and see these guys develop. But when you look at that, that's a great example. Let's just start there because then we're going to get to Florida. When they played Ohio State, they got one of the best. They're the number 1 scoring player in the country, and they have the best scoring duo in the country. and they lead the country in threes. So if you add that all together, that really stinks to play against them in a one game, right? Ohio State's best player's got a concussion. He can't play. And Ohio State goes, 5 for 23 or 5 for 25 or whatever. And Oral Roberts makes those dagger threes and has those two guys, one a forward, one a guard, that can just separate you like us. When you like us 2 years ago when you watched us and with Bo Beach in Dallas, them two positions are brutal. So then you go fast forward, okay, Oral Roberts was whatever. Now they play Florida. Florida, in everybody's opinion, because of Johnson, obviously, you never got to see the true who they are. And then Payne gets suspended, and the guards are, up and down, ebbs and flows. What did they do against Oral Roberts? They pressed them. And Brent, what does UNF do against you if you press us?
They beat you at transition threes.
So what did Florida do? Like after the first X amount of possessions, they stopped pressing them.
Yeah.
Because Oral Roberts, like Florida was scoring. Everybody's like, wow, look at Florida scoring. They were making twos. Oral Roberts was making threes. So now Oral Roberts is starting to feel it. And then they go to a zone, 1-3-1, and Weaver, number 14, makes the big three in the corner. Now, the foul that was or wasn't called, 74-71, they go down and cut it to one. I get all that, but that's just part of the game. Yeah. That has nothing to do with seeding. So, to me, that's a great example of how it all kind of played out. But, think about Villanova. I know Creighton would be a better one.
Yeah.
People are like, well, North Texas should have gave Creighton a better game. Look what they did in their first game. I'm like, first of all, Graham McCastle was at Baylor too, so he's a great friend of mine. First of all, they finished fifth in their league. Second of all, they won 4 games to get to the tournament. Third of all, they're really talented, and they are the third most experienced team in the tournament. Let me rephrase that. Third most experienced team in the tournament. So they got a bunch of old dudes. Mm-hmm. So they win the first game, and now everybody's like, well, Georgetown beat Creighton, and they were a 9th seed by 25 points. It didn't matter. Creighton was all disheveled. They had all that racism and all the coach issues going on, and they were all whacked out. And Georgetown was hot. They were a 9th seed. So I think you're right, Brent. It's getting a little bit closer. I will say this to you. People better be very leery of UCLA. And why do you think?
Well, 'cause I'm going to tell you why I think, and you tell me if I'm right. But I said this after the UCLA game. There's very few times – now, you watch games differently, but there's very few times that I watch a game and I say, wow, that coach is going to go back to the film and they're going to say, we executed on the defensive end exactly how I had hoped we executed on the defensive end. Now, there might have been a possession or two, Coach, but I thought UCLA, it jumped off the TV that they were in the shorts for about 38, 39 minutes of BYU, and they could not get in their offense. I thought they did a heck of a job defensively.
So there's another great example, right? BYU coming out, giving Gonzaga a run down the stretch, whatever. When you look at UCLA, see, I'm a national voter. So I vote every week on the top 25. And, of course, Mick's a really good friend of mine. People, mess up with us all the time because we look so much alike. When he was 25, no, I'm serious. When we played in Cincinnati one time, the guy tapped me on my shoulder in the airport and said, hey, Mick, I went in. I'm like, oh, I don't know what you're going to tell him, but I ain't the guy. But, when Mick was 25, though, he was ahead of the talent for the Dapper Dan Round Bowl, which was held in Pittsburgh. And he used to do the tryouts in my gym, my Division III gym. So we go back to the 90s. But anyways, UCLA, by the way, I had him in there all year long. They're one of the best teams on the West Coast that nobody sees. He can coach his tail off. And what you just said, Brent, so what happened in the Illinois game, number 1 seed? Loyola Chicago defended the living dog out of them. They did exactly what you said. And you know why? Because Illinois' point guard shoots 16% from 3.
Yeah.
So you ain't got to guard him. And you got a guy named Krutwig that can take away Cockburn inside. So now the bandit with the mask, whatever his name is, the draft pick, he couldn't get flowing. So UCLA, you better be aware of them. And I'm going to tell you somebody else, too, out the West Coast. Who do you think I'm going to say?
Oregon State.
Okay, let's go there. I wasn't going to say them, but since they're a high seed, let's stay there. You know, obviously Coach Tinker was a wonderful, wonderful human being and a great coach. His brother was a JUCO coach just north of Waco. That's how I kind of met the family in the early 2000s. But with Oregon State, they get so hot and they get going. And next thing you know, they're picked to finish last. They're an 8 seed in their tournament or a 6 seed. Now they get going, they get hot. I don't know if you can carry that mojo. This is the third round, 3 rounds deep in the tournament. So that one, I'm not quite the same on.
But obviously, Coach, you're probably talking about USC, right?
I was.
Yeah.
And the reason is, of course, I know Andy well because he was at Gulf Coast.
Yeah.
Like Earl Roberts, he was the last, 15 to get to the Sweet 16. But Andy, and if you look at their DER has always been one of the tops in the country this year. So because of that, Mobley are really talented. Their guards can shoot the ball and complement those two well. So I really think USC is a little more scary than and again, a West Coast team that we don't see very. I'm not saying East Coast bias because I don't believe it, but a team we haven't seen very much, and I would be concerned about them. Who's the biggest, highest seed that probably has lost the most luster?
Ooh.
By the way, am I interviewing you guys or?
No, you're good. But are you talking about that's still in the tournament, obviously, right?
That's correct. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm going to say Houston.
By the way, that's a great answer. It wasn't what I was thinking, but I love that answer because they're so dangerous, Brent. You're 100% right. They're so dangerous. They could be in the Final Four easily because of the way they play. They're different. And on a short prep, like a Elite Eight to a Final Four prep, that's hard.
Yeah,
that's a hard prep.
I would say Alabama, but
okay.
Yeah.
Now there's a team that has the same mantra as us: layups and dunks, wide open threes.
Yeah,
layups and dunks, wide open threes. And obviously, they've really done a great job doing the one thing that's so critical, which is rebounding, because offensive rebound kickout threes is almost a 1.74 point per possession if you track them all in the country, which means you're making over 50% of them, which is almost close to 60%. So I love that one. That's a really good one, Austin. I think that's something that you should keep your eye on as well, too. I really think Michigan lost their luster more than Baylor, and they both went through the same protocol. And the reason I say Michigan lost the biggest luster is because they're coming out of the Big Ten, and everybody's just killing the Big Ten.
Yeah, good point.
True. Very true.
Weak league. Look at them. They, and of course the Big Ten saying, well, we beat ourselves up all the time and we couldn't, we had no juice, whatever. So, but I do think Michigan lost their luster, plus Livers, I don't know what he's going to come back and play with the foot. But I think, to me, if you said, Trisk, who's your biggest surprise to get, or your biggest, what do you call that person? Not dark horse, because they're a 1 seed, but who's the team no one's talking about? I would say Michigan would be the sneak 1 seed. And you're saying, but Coach, that means, they're going to have to end up probably playing Florida State, our local team.
They do.
And
they play Sunday.
I love Florida State. I love Florida State. I love them. They're just, God, they're so good. And they got so much depth. And if a guy gets hurt or a guy gets in foul trouble, I mean, look at Polite. Polite just, whatever comes out, starts making them. I mean, I love them. I love Calhoun off the bench, can really score it and stretch it. I think Florida State, but I think keep your eye on Michigan. I really do.
Well, Florida State, one last thought on them, and then we'll let you run. But Florida State, I don't even think they've sniffed their better game yet. And I like that for a team that gets to the Sweet 16 with making no threes in the first game and playing okay in the second game. But I just think their best basketball is ahead of them. Now, can it happen? And it needs to happen against Michigan, potentially Alabama, potentially Gonzaga, potentially Baylor. Mm-hmm. So it needs to happen. But I kind of like that about Florida State. I don't think we've seen their best yet.
I would agree with you. And I think it's a credit to them in the sense that, just Coach Ham tearing his Achilles, stepping off the bus, is a distraction in and of itself that he's done a remarkable job with. You know, if you remember the guy that came here, and it's just Georgia State, Coach, oh gosh, I can't believe his son was a great player for him. Anyways, remember he was on the scooter when they beat Baylor.
Yeah.
Remember when Georgia State beat Baylor and he was on the scooter. He tore his Achilles too. I think they've done a great job kind of working through that. And now I think they're going to have a different perspective having a week off. So you know what, Brent? You might have just spoken them into the Final Four. I'm serious. You might have just spoken them into the Final Four because, like that's a great point. They really haven't had their best effort yet.
Hey, Coach, I quick ask you too. I mean, I know we're behind a little bit, but I got to ask this question. I'm from Wisconsin. I follow Marquette very closely. Right. Shaka Smart leaves Texas, and to opt to go coach. Kind of like at his home. I don't want to say home school, but he's from Madison, really close by Marquette. Yeah, so he's going back to coach Marquette. What do you make of that?
First of all, I don't know if you know this, but Marquette spends top 10 in the country on money spent on men's basketball.
Really? I did not know that.
Let me say this to you one more time. I think they're 6, but I don't want to say that. So I believe they're 6. Therefore, you can't say I'm wrong. I believe they're 6. They might be 5th. Money spent on men's basketball. Wow. Well, they don't have football, first of all.
Yeah.
So they have a great scenario. So that's the first thing. Number 2, Shaka signed a 7-year deal, just finished year 6, but he had a little bit more. 3.2, I think he was making. But if you remember, they always wanted to fire him the last 3 years.
They did, yeah.
Yeah.
Hot seat. Well, after a while, you kind of get sick of hearing that.
Sure.
Even though they, lottery picks and all this other stuff. So now not only does he get a fresh start, but he gets away from that Texas football and Texas this and Texas that. And you know what? Like, he goes to a home. He's the big dog. He's the only, of course, and he's got an NBA team, which is huge. And they're not stiff. Mm-hmm. They got one of the greatest players on the planet. So it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. And whoever got that done or facilitated that, good for you, because Shaka was ripe for the picking.
Yeah, that's a good point. By the way, I'm a little mad at Shaka Smart, too. I had Texas winning the whole thing in my bracket.
You know what's funny? I think I saw you tweet that. And my first thought was, we may need to drug test you.
PCP.
That PCP going on.
PCP. Forget about PCR.
Hey, I got to ask you this, and then I got to let you go, and Kuz is going to kill us. We're like way behind. But new hire.
I apologize.
New hire with your rival across town, Jordan Mincy.
Jordan Mincy is a wonderful human being. He's going to do a really, really good job. Obviously, their product is their product, and our product is our product. And the biggest thing that I don't like, over the last couple of days that, people were saying, listen, I get it. In the last 8 years, and Cliff was there on that first part, and then I get it. We're 14-4 against them and all that stuff. But, like, every single game is what I care about. And 2 to 3 times a year, I'm going to dislike him. But he's a very, very good human being. As a wonderful wife, obviously, I've known him just from being in the circuit, also, too, because of playing Florida and the relationship with Mike and going down to the clinics that we had every August down there, these private clinics. And we're going to have breakfast soon. We'll sit down. We'll talk a lot about the city. We'll talk about the league. And, I got no ill will at all with that kind of stuff. I want to be a good human being and all those kind of things. So, kudos to Alex and for him going through the process. And I'm looking forward to competing against them like I always do.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, one of the things we need in this city, I've said this many times, I want to see Jacksonville University and University of North Florida in the ASUN championship game. I think the place would be on fire.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you. As long as you keep putting our name in there, I'm with you, bro.
You bet. Hey, Matthew Driscoll, we'll talk to you again next week about the bracket, man. Enjoy the basketball.
I might be calling you from Indianapolis.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Enjoy it.
Yeah, Baylor Bears. The Baylor Bears are there. I'm going to be there.
All right. That's awesome. Nice. Good stuff. Good luck
with
that.
Hey, Austin, don't forget.
I got you, man.
I'd be like, hey, I'm like John Thompson. I put my towel on my shoulder. I'll be right there for you.
I got you, man. I got you.
Matthew
All right, baby. Rinse, spit. Wash, rinse, and spit.
Have a good weekend, man. That's Matthew Driscoll, University of North Florida men's basketball coach, corner man for Austin Lane.
Yes, sir.
Ambassador for the University of North Florida track and field program.
Absolutely.
Wedding aficionado.
I've been on that track. Exactly. I've been on that track a couple times. I never noticed, it's special.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, no, it goes back a bit. It's a smart move by them, and they've
what is it made out of?
Rewards
What's the...
Yeah, now you're going to
that's
really
the story. Well, that's the story, man,
but
right there.
It's the surface, and I believe the story, and it might have changed over now a little bit more, but I think it was the 2008 Olympics were in Beijing, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was at the time, in recent years, it was just that surface and UNF and maybe one other one that were alike. Okay. But they had the exact same surface as the Olympics. And so you get some big track meets here, and it's a nice little heads and beds thing for the university and for the city. We'll be back. Shock Your Mock is up next.
Let's get it.
Can you imagine if we keep Driscoll on for Shock Your Mock someday?
I think it would implode on itself. You can't have two.
We wouldn't take one.
It would be two irresistible forces. Yeah, exactly, man. There's no way. There's no way. Too much energy.
Florida State, by the way, plays Sunday on ESPN 690 at 5 o'clock.
Now, the First Alert forecast on ESPN 690.
A hot Friday under partly sunny skies today, a record-breaking high of 89. Join me beginning at 5 p.m. for CBS 47 at Fox 30. Action News Jax from the First Alert Weather Center. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years zero-interest financing with nothing down.
Life is complicated. We all know it, and all can use the proper support system. You know what else can be complicated? Owning a home. And that's why Rex was built to go beyond the simple real estate transaction. Full-service agents for buying and selling, mortgage services, insurance quotes, escrow and title, even home repair, all one call away. I guess you could call Rex your home support system and not a typical brokerage. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. Want more? Of course you do. With all that convenience comes reduced fees, too. In fact, the average Rex homeowner saves over $10,000 when buying and selling a home. Want to get started? It's never too soon. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. 833-739-4663. Florida license number CQ1057788. For further licensing disclosures, please visit rexhomes.com.
We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
After a long day, having my dogs greet me at the door with their silly smiles and wagging tails makes me happy. I want to keep that joy with me for years to come. That's why I trust Forever Vets Animal Hospital to keep my pets healthy. Forever Vets was voted 2019's best vet in Jacksonville Magazine's Readers Poll, and it's easy to see why. The affordable wellness plans are tailored to meet all of your pet's changing needs as they grow. Open 7 days a week, Forever Vets friendly staff is available to treat you and your pet with care. They combine extended hours with online booking to allow you to give your pet quality care while accommodating your schedule. Go online to forevervets.com to find which of their 9 locations is nearest you. And don't forget their newest location in Bartram Market. Forever Vets Animal Hospital, keeping your pets happy and healthy forever.
Welcome to Moe's, and good morning at Moe's. In St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1, it's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Try it. You'll love it. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. They put the fast in breakfast. Made to order in the drive-thru. Try the Homewrecker Breakfast Burrito. Your choice of bacon, chicken, or steak with scrambled eggs, shredded cheese, and seasoned potatoes. Served daily at 6 a.m. St. Augustine location only. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
Slip and falls can be embarrassing, leaving you in pain and feeling like you've lost control. I'm Eli Anajar from the law offices of Anajar and Levine. After a fall, document the scene by taking photographs and make sure to get medical attention for any injuries you may have. If you've been injured in a slip and fall accident, call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000 for a free consultation. And take back control of your life.
Office in Jacksonville.
No matter what you are driving, you can step up to luxury now at any of the Fields Auto Group dealerships in Jacksonville. Cadillac, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. So whatever you're driving, see Fields first and step up to luxury for less during this amazing opportunity. Visit fieldsauto.com.
If you, someone you love, your clients, or your customers are golfers, then you must get the Dream 18 golf card. It's the best golf card in Jacksonville. Play at 8 premier courses in Jacksonville, plus get a free smoothie from Smoothie King, a free hat from Dome Hats. It's only $95, but quantities are limited. So get a discount card that will save you money on your golf now and allow you to play more golf in 2021. Go to actionsportsjacksdream18.com now and get your cards while they last. The Dream 18 golf card, available only at actionsportsjacksdream18.com.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Culhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the south side. Culhane's Irish Pub, Irish Sass with 5-star class.
911, what's your emergency?
This car, an SUV, it was going across, it went around the barrier, and the train. Oh, God.
Ma'am, did a train hit an SUV? Is that what happened?
Yes, the train is still going. The train is going, and the car, I can't believe it.
You can't judge the speed of an approaching train. That's why the signals are there. Stop. Trains can't. Paid for by NHTSA.
Where else can you get luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials? Only one place, at Culhane's Irish Pub at Atlantic Beach and on the south side. It's as Irish as you can get, owned by 4 Irish sisters. And they've got fish and chips, of course, shepherd's pie. Go today for lunch or dinner. Eat in, order out. Culhane'sIrishPub.com for the full menu. And try the new 5 Sisters vodka at happy hour. Luncheon, brunchin', boozin' specials, and so much more. 2 locations, Atlantic Beach and the south side. Culhane's Irish Pub, Irish Sass with 5-star class.
Have you seen it? The all-new showroom at Arlington Toyota is open, and they're ready to celebrate with big savings, even on pre-owned. Celebrate savings and hearing the words, "You're approved." That's right. With Arlington's Credit for Everyone program, if your Beacon score is from 450 to 850, almost everyone is approved. Plus, if you want selection, Arlington's got it. With over 400 pre-owned on the lot, what are you waiting for? Celebrate with savings and come see the brand new facility at Arlington Toyota Pre-Owned, 10939 Atlantic Boulevard, or online at arlingtontoyota.com.
Small businesses continue to face many challenges resulting from the prolonged pandemic. Business owners are working hard to maintain customers, adjust operations, and retain key personnel. At SCORE, our highly trained counselors are here to offer their assistance. In Jacksonville, SCORE provides services to almost 6,000 individuals annually. In addition to ongoing mentoring, we are conducting webinars on topics that can provide timely advice. Visit jacksonville.score.org today for links with more information.
Keyshawn Johnson, Jay Williams, and Zubin Mahente.
I despise analytics. It felt like Kevin Cash lost his ability to feel the game.
Keyshawn, Jay, Will, and Zubin. Weekday mornings at 6 Eastern on ESPN Radio. Or streaming live on the ESPN app.
Brent Martineau.
This is an email. Why is WWE Wrestling not being shown on Friday night?
Austin Lane.
Thank you very much. Read it right now. Read it right now. This
I just did. Why is WWE? That's it. I mean, that's why I thought. I don't know. I mean, Ronan's only 5. I don't know how many sentences he can make. Smart kid.
Somebody might have proofread it for him.
Action Sports Jax on ESPN 690.
Well, we just mentioned Ronan.
Yeah.
Watching a little wrestling.
That's a good soundbite. Yeah.
Ronan's what? 6?
6 now. Yeah.
Ronan's already tougher than me, and on his way to being tougher than you, if
I
not
think he
already.
might be tougher than me. He might have me beat already.
So you get the dreaded call from school moments ago.
Yep, I got the dreaded call from school during the Coach Driscoll interview. And I didn't know who it was at the time because it was a 904 number. I didn't have it saved. So then after the interview, I played the voicemail. Hey, Ronan had a little bit of an accident. He scraped his knee. So I called my wife. My wife was already on the way to pick him up, so we're good there. And then my wife gets there, sends me the picture, and it's more than a scrape, though, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah,
this is he kind of filleted his knee open a little bit.
It does. I mean, it's pretty significant.
Yeah, you can kind of see the muscle tissue and everything.
Now, listen, the story has to be, Dad, I dunked it on the way up. It was just on the way coming down.
I hope so. Although he was wearing his Kyrie's today, so who knows what was going on with that. You know what? He was probably getting a fight about flat Earth, and the kid kicked him. That's what it was.
Bad karma, man.
That's
wearing the Kyrie's
I know,
today.
man. I tried to tell him the
Those
Giannis's
are on the shelf.
Oh, they're never getting used again. Yeah, I mean, that's not an endorsement for the Kyries. I don't know what is. But so then my wife picks him up, and obviously, she's worried because he might be sad. I mean, we don't know. I don't know what he's dealing with, and neither does she. So he gets in the car, and I guess he didn't cry or anything, but the very first thing out of his mouth when he gets in the car is, hey, how many stitches did Dad had when he cut his ankle open in the shower? So I hear him talking in the background, and I'm like, what is he saying? And she's like, he wants to know how many stitches you had. I'm like, I think it was 6. And Ronan's like, I'm going to beat that. I'm like, okay, you probably are, little dude, because it's a pretty nasty cut you got. So
Hey, go get him, Ronan.
Congratulations.
I hope they give you 7 even if you don't need 7.
Just get an extra one. Open it up a little more if you got
I
to.
love the pride. Yeah, that's right, Mom. Cut this a little more.
Yeah, cut a little more if you want to.
There's some pride on the line.
Yeah. But no, you're not lying, man. You get those voicemails. It can always be. But like I said, they said it was a scrape. So I'm like, it can't be that bad. But it's,
yeah. The funny thing, I was just thinking like that shower cut the ankle, that story, like you did that a few months back.
Yeah.
I was like, if you were still playing the NFL and I'm reporting on that, I don't believe it.
Well, first of all, I'm not going to say it was in the shower. I was in the weight room and a weight fell on it, Brent. Come on now.
I know. I probably wouldn't believe that either. Like anytime, the baseball guys do that all the time. It's like, hey, he can't throw for 3 weeks. He cut his finger in the shower on the shower door. I'm like, yeah, right. He got in a bar fight and nobody wants to say it.
Knowing you probably get a hold of my credit card history. Like, all right, was he at the Jack's Beach bars? Yeah, out till about 1:30.
Which day?
Here we go. Yep, 1:30 out in the morning. All right, there it is.
Hey, what do we got? Shock your mock time is
It's
here.
about that time, huh?
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
We feeling rowdy?
I think so. Yeah, let's get it.
We've had all the emotions this week.
Man, ups, downs, zen, craziness.
My
how do we
favorite part
end
of this segment is I have no idea what you have picked.
I know. Well, I really don't know either. I just randomly sent it to Kuz, and I don't really take a look at it. So I like to be a little more spontaneous, Brent, and shock your mock this year.
I like it. Let's do it.
Kuz, we have that music ready?
He is none other than the Shock Master!
Gonna shock yo mock. We're gonna shock yo mock.
Brutality, don't you think?
Shocking. Gonna shock yo mock. We're gonna shock yo mock.
Shocking upset.
I feel shocked. Shock yo mock. We're gonna shock yo mock.
I am shocked. I am shocked. That's what I mean. I am.
Let's get it. We got cousin Steve from Boston.
Hold on. Oh, was the last one from Trailer Park Boys?
Close, but no. Close though, Kuz.
We'll keep figuring out. Don't tell them.
In the same ballpark, kinda.
Is it that actor?
I don't think so.
Okay.
But in the same kind of genre, not really the genre, but this I can't. I've said too much already. That's all I was to say. I said too much already. Brett, any other ideas?
No.
Okay, well, it is what it is. Feel free to chime in on the ESPN stream if you had any ideas what those quotes are from.
Chat.
We have Steve from Boston on today. Cousin Steve from Boston. You seen those Sam Adams commercials? It's your cousin from Boston? Yeah, that's why I call him Cousin Steve. Yeah, and he's a friend of the show, right? He always calls in.
Certainly is.
Oh, we haven't heard
is
from
he
him in a
going
while.
to get a T-shirt or what?
We'll see, man. Okay, and here's what we got.
He was a Delpit guy last year, if I'm not mistaken.
Huge Delpit guy. One of the biggest Delpit guys.
Yeah, so he starts kind of without a shirt.
0 for 1.
Yeah.
0 for 1 to say the least.
He's getting a schmedium.
I don't have to do any due diligence. I know who Steve Boston is. We're all good. He went on Twitter, ATrain92. I think I got a good one for you, Austin. Hashtag shock your mock. Coos, let's bring her up. We got thumbs up, but I don't see it quite yet, so there's a little delay. There's a little bit of a
Trevor
delay.
Lawrence, number 1.
Trevor, I hope so.
Or it didn't even qualify if it's not Trevor Lawrence, number 1.
I hope so. And you know what? The Wi-Fi is going slow again, so I have to go off my cell phone. It's okay, everybody, because sometimes it's Friday. We got feet in the parking lot, man. You see this? All I got is a blank. Now we're back. All right. Welcome back, Steve from Boston.
I see it.
Cousin Steve from Boston. Let's get into it. Number 1. And you know what? I don't need any explanation like we had yesterday, Coos. It's a nice quality mock draft. Now, it's that PFN mock draft. Are they making a big push this year in terms of the mock draft simulator?
That's a normal spot. I'm not familiar with that as much.
I haven't been a fan of them. They okayed the Zack Wilson trade for Trevor Lawrence.
That's true.
So
they should have blocked that.
Should have blocked that all day. But whatever. So out the PFN mock draft simulator, not really. So number 1, Trevor Lawrence. Let's get it. Okay? Obvious. Say no more. First round, pick 28. So obviously there was a trade here of some sorts. Now, Steve did not give us what he got in return. Like, if you're watching this right now, Brent, pick 28. Why did the Jaguars move back 3 spots?
They moved back 3 spots, and I'm trying to find like another pick that they may I don't think, is that another one down there at 162? I think they've had 162. Yeah. So, yeah, I don't know what he did.
So maybe this website just sucks and they had the Jaguars picking number 28.
Instead of 25.
But with that being said, not off to a great start because now we're picking out a position. Okay? For whatever reason.
You got some splaining to do.
Maybe we just felt like, charity. Hey, someone can have our 25th pick. We'll take number 28. Not sure what's going on there. And Steve, you didn't justify it, man. So I have no idea what's going on with your mock draft right now. Off to a horrible start. Trevor Lawrence, yeah, okay, good. But everything else, not so good. I like the pick, though, Brent. Jason Owe. We've talked about him before a little bit out of Penn State. I think he can definitely play that 3-4 outside linebacker spot. And do we dare hit the button? Do we dare hit the button and say, draft need alert? We got draft need alert, everybody, in the first round. Whoa! Whoa! My eardrums are actually shot right now. Turn down that volume a little bit. That hurt.
You need to get a little quieter?
We'll address it again in a little bit here. We're good. But, Brent, we have a draft.
Are you okay?
No, it was seriously loud in my ear. We have a draft need alert in the first round. I like it. Now, it's pick number 28, so you lose points for that because, once again, you didn't really clarify why you're picking number 28, but it is what it is. Pick number 33, second round, Pat Freiermuth. I mean, duh. Right, he seems to be the talk of the town.
Should we just pencil Freiermuth into everybody's mock draft?
I mean, is he
the only tight end available?
He's got to be, Brent. So is it really like the Trevor Lawrence and Pat Freiermuth show now? Is that what we say?
I feel like it.
But you're not mad at it, though, right?
No, I don't hate it.
No?
I feel like I've just been cornered into it.
Yeah, and there's really no other
I think
option.
the Jags, because of free agency, because of the limit on really the high-end talent in this draft, we have Jordan, Freiermuth, and Pitts about it in terms of the upper, and really you wouldn't even put Pitts in a different category than these other guys.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm forced with Freiermuth.
Yeah.
And because his relationship with the coach, like, I don't know. I'm taking the field. I bet Freiermuth doesn't end up here just because everybody says he's going to end up here.
So far, though, Brent, let's be honest. First 3 picks, not too shabby. Now you're picking 28 again. I don't know why.
I still can't figure that out.
But not too shabby. Then we go to the 45th pick, which is obviously a 6th or 7th round pick, I assume, because you're taking offensive tackle. Oh, no, that's right. This is a 2nd round pick, isn't it?
That is a 2nd round pick.
Now, I have it on good authority because he calls all the time. Steve from Boston listens to the show all the time.
He does.
And he knows how much I'm a North Dakota State fan.
He is.
Right?
I think that's why he's trying to get in your good graces here.
But here's the irony of it. You try to get in my good graces by taking Dylan Radwins, who's, I think he could be a developmental pick. I don't see him being a starting left or right tackle right off the get-go. So you get him in my good graces by taking North Dakota State guy, but you've actually got in my horrible graces, the worst of all graces. Say a grace. It's worse than that because you're taking an offensive tackle in the second round that isn't going to outplay Juwan Taylor year 1. That isn't going to outplay Cam Robinson year 1. So now we got, what do we got? We got luxury picks in the second round, Brent.
for a 1-15.
This team, Brent, took the words right out of my mouth. Take my breath away, whoever sang that song. You literally just said what I was going to say. You have a 1-15 team. Take my breath away. Nailed it. You have a 1-15 team, and you're taking luxury picks? We're taking luxury picks in the second round? You know the last luxury pick here was in Jacksonville, Brent? Taven Bryan.
Or Denard Robinson.
Denard Robinson.
Oh, you said the last one. Yeah,
the last one. Oh, I remember for Denard Robinson. That was a luxury pick.
And that was like the first year they drafted.
It's a good point.
A luxury pick in the first year of your draft when you just ripped it down. I'm not sure about that.
So you know what? I don't like that pick whatsoever. There's other needs to address, but let's keep on going down here. We're getting off on a tangent.
By the way, if you're going to have a luxury pick, then wow me with excitement and not an offensive. Okay?
Thank you.
At least try to convince me.
And listen, with all due respect to the great offensive tackles there that have come through even in Jaguars history, the least sexiest pick of all the sexiest pick. I mean, maybe a punter. Take Brian Anger in the third round, why don't you? It's comparable.
It's happening.
It's comparable. It's a luxury. Hey, Steve Boston, take a punter next round. Why not, man? It's a luxury at this point. All right, number 65, Kenneth Gainwell. Not mad at it. Pick number 93, Dwayne Eskridge, Western Michigan. Okay.
Who's picking Gene Smith? I mean, that's some small schools here. What are you doing?
Oh, hang on, though. Here we go, Brent. We're what? We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We're 7 picks into it, and all of a sudden we got another draft need alert. Draft need alert. We got a draft need alert, everybody. Get on deck. Hey, probably the biggest need right now on this team, and you pick him at 121. Okay? You should have slid that safety pick.
James Wiggins, by the way.
James Wiggins out of Cincinnati. Great defense last year, but is he going to be starting material right away? Probably not, bro.
Doubt Jim will be.
Why don't you have this safety at pick number 45? That's the real question, right? And Steve, I like you, man. You call the show all the time. We talk wrestling. We talk everything. I understand that you're a big fan, and I appreciate it. But I can't come with you on this, man, okay? I can't come with an offensive tackle taken at pick number 45 as a luxury. And then I definitely can't come with you when you say, hey, let's take a safety, probably our number one need, at pick 121. Finishing everything out, we got Rodarius Williams, pick 130. Marvin Wilson, pick 140.
You get Marvin Wilson at pick 145.
Hey, did you get a value alert too? We got
what would that one sound like?
I don't know, man. But we got to think of something. Sage, yeah, same thing.
Cellular, it's the same thing.
Sage Surratt, pick 162. And then Jack Anderson, offensive guard, Texas Tech, at pick 170. So what did we learn today, everybody? And listen, I keep repeating myself. It's like, Steve, I know you listen to the show, but are you listening? Like, do you just have it in the background as background noise? And are you watching wrestling? Because that's cool, too. But are you really listening what I'm trying to say to everybody? I'm telling you guys is that you can't have luxury picks in the second round. Unless you have a guy that can guarantee start over Cam Robinson or Juwan Taylor, which is hard to find in the second round, I can't come with you. So, Steve, you're a fan of the show, and it's a Friday. I'm in a good mood right now. I'm actually in a great mood, pending my son getting stitches in his knee, but that's okay. He's tough. He can handle it. You're getting a T-shirt.
Give him a T-shirt.
Hey, you're getting a T-shirt, and you know what, Steve? I'll be honest with you, man. You're a fan of the show, so this mock right here, I'm not mad at it. I'm just a little disappointed.
Yeah. Should have known better.
And you know what? Your mock has been kind of shocked, but it's been disappointed. It's been disappointing.
Your mock doesn't suck.
No, but it's disappointing.
It's been sparked.
And sometimes you wonder which is worse.
And that's what and you know what, Steve? I want you to marinate on that question and call back to the show whenever you want because thanks for being a big fan. But I'm just disappointed in you right now, man.
Don't call back in the next minute. We're going to break. That is Shock Your Mock Friday. We got through week one. We only gave away 4 shirts.
Well, I mean, 4 shirts and 2 of them didn't fit the people, so it is what it is. Did you start some in the inventory?
Well, checking our inventory as we
check
speak.
the inventory, man. Yeah, hey, check the inventory. You know what I'm saying? Check that inventory.
Football at 5. We'll talk about what went down in the NFL today and also the value of some positions in the draft. Where does it rank? That is on the way as well. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Happy Friday.
ESPN 690 Sports Center Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. With the new format for the Combine this year, teams are relying more heavily on pro days, and the Penn State Nittany Lions showed out. Jason Owe, an edge rusher, recorded a 4.36 40, and he's 6'5" and 257 pounds. It was the fastest ever recorded 40 time for a pass rusher, and if you're wondering why you haven't heard his name mentioned in any mock drafts, it's because he did not record a single sack last year. The Jacks Icemen are home tonight. They'll be decked out like Thanos. After the game, you can even bid on the game-worn gloves, which are painted gold with infinity stones, as well as game-worn jerseys. And finally, in NCAA men's news, the Florida State Seminoles won't play the Sweet 16 until Sunday when they take on the number 1 seeded Michigan at 5 p.m. on CBS. The Sports Center update is brought to you by Morgan & Morgan. Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Welcome to Moe's, and good morning at Moe's. In St. Augustine only at 312 and US 1, it's the only Moe's in the country serving breakfast burritos. Try it. You'll love it. Full breakfast menu only at the St. Augustine location. They put the fast in breakfast. Made to order in the drive-thru. Try the Home Wrecker Breakfast Burrito. Your choice of bacon, chicken, or steak with scrambled eggs, shredded cheese, and seasoned potatoes. Served daily at 6 a.m. St. Augustine location only. Make it a better morning with Moe's.
Here in the Sunshine State, we live in 2 time zones. We cheer for 3 NFL teams. We have over 3 million men over the age of 45, and over half suffer from ED or PE. If you're having problems in the bedroom, you'll see results on your first visit at Prime Men's Medical Center, guaranteed, or your consultation is free. Listen to a specialist in men's health.
I'm Dr. Brown. If pills like Viagra have let you down, Prime Men's Medical Center has custom blended medications to help you last longer in the bedroom, regardless of age or past medical history, with no pain and no surgery. You'll see results right in the office, guaranteed, or your exam is free. Patients are now lasting 30, 60, 90 minutes or longer, and it's affordable.
Contact Prime Men's Medical Center to schedule a private consultation. Call 904-664-8217. 904-664-8217. That's 904-664-8217.
CGC Water has been telling you, if you're not filtering your water, you are the filter. Still not a believer? Well, you can believe me. My family has been a happy CGC Water customer for 4 years now. Customer service is tremendous. We got our water tested. We were told about our options in financing in detail. No pressure, just information. Installation was quick, and the CGC team was there every step of the way. And we absolutely love it, because it works. Heck, I even think my coffee tastes better because of it. And I love my coffee. A Kinetico system from CGC Water removes up to 99% of contaminants. That's clean. Schedule your free water test today and ask how you can save up to $500. CGC is still taking extra precautions with in-home visits and continuing to follow CDC guidelines. Financing available with approved credit. Call 904-552-1242 for details or visit cgcwater.com. Serving Northeast Florida and Southeast Georgia. CGC Water Treatment, your local independent Kinetico dealer.
We're all ready for spring. Now's the time to get ready for spring projects with help from the Home Depot. Install a brand new faucet, lay down fresh new flooring, roll on a bright new coat of paint. Need to figure square footage or paint coverage? Our project calculators will do the math. Do it all from our app and get delivery right to your door. Download our mobile app to get started. Bring on spring with innovative help from the Home Depot. How doers get more done.
You run a business and you need better wireless. 3 words, no more compromise. With the T-Mobile Business Advantage, you get the largest 5G network, award-winning customer support, and insanely great value. No trade-offs. Right now, get up to 90 days of unlimited free on business plans when you switch via bill credits. Stop in to find out more. Plus taxes and fees for some plans. Complete port within 60 days. Customers over 50 gigabytes per month have lower speeds during congestion. Video at 480p, unlimited on our network. See T-Mobile.com for 5G devices coverage and plan details.
They just don't make them like they used to. People say that a lot, and sometimes it's true, but not for air conditioners. Manufacturers actually make them better than they used to. It's just that local AC companies don't install them like they ought to. Old school rules of thumb and yesterday's shortcuts simply sabotage new school systems. Can new technology give you more comfort with longer service life? Only if the AC tech knows how to properly engineer it for your home and how to install it right. So techs that don't understand inverters, low voltage controls, and how to configure the software, dip switches, and refrigerant charge for Florida humidity, they'll totally turn it into turd buckets, especially if they just do a swap the box install without fixing your ductwork and airflow. My point, the better the technology, the more important the install. At Griffith Service, we fix what others can't, but it's best to have us install it right from the beginning. So if your new system ain't working right or your old one needs replacing, call
GriffinService.com.
1250-697.
I should have my kid tell you about Jumpin' Jack's House of Food. It's Ty's favorite burger in town. Make it one of your favorites as well. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food has 3 locations now: Atlantic Beach, Mandarin, and downtown Jacksonville. Change your life burgers. But they have salads, pizza, and much more on the menu, too. Let Jumpin' Jack's House of Food be your great neighbor. Lunch or dinner with the family, or they will cater parties from 200 to 500 people. Jumpin' Jack's, HOF.com for online ordering. Jumpin' Jack's House of Food, open 7 days a week.
I'm Doug Brown. 3 NFL teams have new first-round draft positions. The 49ers now have the 3rd pick, the Dolphins the 6th pick, and the Eagles the 12th pick. All this after 2 Miami trades today, which brings them 4 extra picks, including 2 future first-rounders. Schefter says Miami could make a run at Deshaun Watson.
They have 2 and 2 if they want to move Deshaun. So it could be 2 and 3 ones. They still have every one. The Dolphins could go wherever they want and still be in play on Deshaun Watson if that's what they decide they want to do.
Adam Schefter on Bart and Hahn. Saints corner Marshawn Lattimore was arrested late Thursday night in his hometown of Cleveland on suspicion of carrying a concealed weapon and receiving stolen property. Lattimore was taken to jail after the arrest. Tony Clark of the Baseball Players Association tells the Boston Globe he'd be interested in talking about moving the All-Star game out of Atlanta this year. On Thursday, the state of Georgia put new restrictions on voting into effect.
What? Just 15 seconds to talk about Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea? That smooth taste of real brewed iced tea with just the right kick of alcohol? What? We started already? Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Look for it in the bright yellow cans. Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios. Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 904-600-4000. That's 904-600-4000. ESPN 690. Jacksonville's home for ESPN Radio. WOKV Jacksonville. Listen live everywhere you go on ESPN690.com. ESPN 690, a Cox Media Group station. Broadcasting live from the ESPN 690 Anajar and Levine studios.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690 with Brent Martineau and Austin Lane.
You put $100 on the Washington football team to win the Super Bowl, you could win $6,000. Could I see it happening? Hell yes, I could. They are exceptional. The Washington football team is exceptional on defense. They're not good. They're exceptional. They're also in a terrible division. The Washington football team is going to win 10 games at minimum.
Yeah, who's the quarterback again?
Well, I mean, he's looking at a long shot.
Yeah, I know, but who's the quarterback?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, they went to the playoffs without a quarterback, essentially. They had 3 of them last year.
Yeah, but can you win the big one?
Isn't it Fitzpatrick now?
Fitzpatrick, did he sign with Washington? Yeah, I think he did.
I think so.
So they got Fitzpatrick and Heineke and whoever they draft.
Well, Brent, I want to hear your value, your picks right now. 'Cause I'm looking at the official updated Vegas odds for 2022 and the Super Bowl. What do you want me to say? I mean,
well, Washington is what? What was he? What did you
just say? Plus 6,000.
Plus
which is
6,000.
kind of right in the middle of the pack. To be fair,
that's middle of the pack.
It's middle of the pack.
Wow. Well, they do have a good defense.
They're right with the Bears at plus 6,000 as well.
I'm not picking them.
Okay, Denver Broncos plus 66.
No.
Falcons plus 6,000.
Now that's a decent one.
Okay.
You know, that's a decent one to invest in. Listen, they have not been as bad as their record has indicated at times.
Yeah.
Like they're closer. It's not like they get blasted. You know, they got a quarterback still puts up numbers. They've got Ridley and Jones, and if they can figure things out on defense, you know, they get it. Maybe Arthur Smith works out.
Yeah.
You know, and something clicks right away. Yep. So I think that's a decent. You talk about a Washington kind of play. I know who the quarterback is there. He's been to a Super Bowl. Yeah. I would buy into Atlanta more than Washington.
Jaguars plus 7,500.
Yeah, I'm not picking them to go to listen, you know me.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking them to go to the Super Bowl.
Giant. This is interesting.
Especially in the AFC right now.
Eagles plus 5. This can't be right.
5,000?
Yeah.
Yeah, no way.
Yeah, that's not right at all.
I'd bet 5,000 to say guarantee it won't happen.
How about this one, Brent? Cleveland Browns plus 2,500.
That's not a bad one.
Yeah. I like that one a lot. Colts plus 2,900.
Great one.
Seahawks plus 2,200.
Good one, but unlikely.
Are you buying this narrative? Patriots plus 3,000.
No, Again, let me bet against that. How do you bet against that? Like, I'd rather bet against them making the playoffs and take those odds.
The last one that kind of sticks out to me a little bit, Arizona Cardinals plus 4,000.
Okay.
If it works out.
Yeah, that's not a bad one.
Yeah.
You know, I still get Fanatics Arizona Cardinals gear coupons.
Yeah.
Ever since I bought that Kyler Murray shirt, I get emails all the time about it.
Good. I mean, listen, as far as the value is concerned, like you have a bunch of plus 6,000s, like Giants plus 6,600.
What's the favorite? Tampa?
Tampa Bay. Yes. No, the Chiefs.
Okay.
Chiefs are plus 550 right now.
And what's Tampa? Plus 750?
Correct. Well, on some, it says plus 900 on this website, but DraftKings has them at plus 750.
Okay.
So,
interesting.
Depending.
Hey, our restaurant of the day, Willie Jules Old School Barbecue. Check them out down in St. Augustine, Mirabella Crossing. Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Looking for some barbecue this weekend? Check it out at Willie Jules Old School Barbecue. Once again, down in St. Augustine, Mirabella Crossing. They also have Wednesday nights, kids eat free, trivia nights on Mondays. So check them out, Willie Jules Old School Barbecue, our restaurant of the day here on this Friday. Brent Martineau, Austin Lane, Coos on a Friday, football at 5. We'll talk about it. We got some Zack Wilson conversation. The value of the position groups in the NFL draft. That is coming up as well. Zack Wilson is an interesting commodity, if you will.
Yeah. Did you see the pro day, the highlights?
Yeah, people are in love with him. And again, I mean, listen, he's a wow you kind of guy. Listen, I like Zack Wilson. Don't get it twisted, as you like to say.
All the time. Every day on the show,
I like Zack Wilson. I really do. I think he's going to be a good quarterback. I would buy into Zack Wilson. What I try to do is say, hey, if the Jags were stuck at the 2 or 3 spot instead of the 1 spot, how would you feel about Zack Wilson? I would say, I feel pretty good. I like it. In fact, it would have been a great sports radio for a couple months debating Zack Wilson against Justin Fields. I like both guys. I think both of them can be very good players. I actually will bet that both are going to be good players. I think this is going to be a heck of a draft class. Really do. Obviously, the Jags are in Trevor Lawrence land. They don't need to budge. They're in a beautiful situation. I'm still not convinced. I said it yesterday on the show. I think Justin Fields is going to be better. I think I would take, at the end of the day, Justin Fields before I would take Zack Wilson, although it would be fun as heck to take Zack Wilson.
Yeah.
I think Justin Fields is less fun, but sometimes less fun is better.
Yeah.
You like Zack Wilson.
I do. See, and it's not fair to him, but I get sick and tired of people saying he's the better prospect right now than Trevor Lawrence. And when people say that, it's like, well, then that makes me dislike Zack Wilson. He did nothing. Like, he should celebrate that, but like that's where I'm coming from.
Well, here's the thing on that front. I did tweet this today because I saw some of that conversation. It's like, well, maybe people will stop. Urban Meyer was not the pro day, so now people will stop saying that the Jags are interested. Who's saying the Jags are interested?
How do you think that conversation went with Balky and Urban Meyer, though? Do you think Balky's like, hey, all right, let's get to BYU. We got the ticket scheduled, and Urban Meyer's like, for what?
Apparently, Bevel is the only one that was there, and partly the reason is he's got a house there in Provo, Utah, and his daughter goes to BYU, so he's basically...
So it's convenient. she probably had to help him move out or something. Like, he wasn't even there to watch that. He was in the city, didn't even go watch him, I bet. Trying to help his daughter move in or out someplace. Yeah.
So what I don't understand is when that happened and Urban Meyer's not going out there, people on Twitter are like, and I understand sometimes we react a little too much to Twitter, but I'm just trying to share in the narrative here. And the narrative was, well, maybe this will stop people from thinking that the Jags are taking Wilson over Lawrence.
Should have never been that point.
Who is saying that?
Yeah.
Nobody said that. Chris Sims said he ranks Wilson ahead of Trevor Lawrence. Okay, fine. He can be the contrarian. He can go that way. I think it's dumb. It's not the right, but that's fine. He can have his opinion. But I don't even know if Chris Sims said that he thinks the Jaguars are going to take Zack Wilson.
Yeah,
he just said, I think he's going to be the better quarterback. And again, people can have that opinion. But I have not seen any mock draft. I have not seen any analyst say Zack Wilson's coming to Jacksonville. Nobody has budged Trevor Lawrence. And keep in mind, we're in a business that people like to get clicks, like to be heard, like to say goofy things,
but do you
likes
want
to
that
say
click?
contrarian things. And they still haven't. So Jags Twitter or any other Twitter, I don't understand where you're getting this. Like, where are you seeing Zack Wilson to the Jags? I don't even think it's been a conversation. Chris Sims said one thing. He said, I rank Wilson better than Lawrence. That's it. Did we all take that one ranking by Chris Sims and say, oh, everybody wants Wilson in Jacksonville?
No, I just think it's disrespectful because what have we seen from Zack Wilson? We saw 1 year. And by the way, you spelled his name wrong, Chris Sims. So that's your boy.
So did I today.
Well, yeah, you did too. Hey, you guys should both get on board here. You can hype a dude up,
Chris,
spell
call
his name
the show
right.
anytime.
It ain't that hard. All right, Chris Sims, come on now.
Come on, why do you have to spell Zach 2 different ways? I mean, if you're going to spell Zach 2 different ways, spell it without the C. Z-A-K, not Z-A-C-H.
Hey, there's probably 1,000 ways you could spell Martineau. So let's relax for a second, sir.
It's Martin.
I mean, hey, and this is coming from the guy whose name is spelled A-U-S-T-E-N.
Yes,
Shout out to the author Jane Austen, who I was named after. Not really. I say it to my mom all the time. It makes you wonder, though. She said she wanted me to be unique. I'm like, were you reading a Jane Austen book, though, right? Because that's how she spells it, too.
Have you read a Jane Austen book?
No.
Well, you should just to check it off the list.
No, because you didn't get beat up in my hometown if you do that.
But you're 6'6", 245 and shouldn't have to worry about getting beat up at the pickle.
I don't read as it is, but I'm going to have to read it. Like, the books I'm going to read is a Jane Austen book?
Well, then we could have her on the show and discuss it.
We
had book day last year on the show.
I think Jane Austen's like 500 years old, sir. Seriously.
I've never heard of Jane Austen.
Excuse me? Pride and Prejudice? Hey, culture yourself a little bit,
I've
man.
heard of Pride and Prejudice. I've never heard of Jane Austen.
I think she wrote it. Let me just make sure quick.
Hey, you say that like everybody should have read Pride and Prejudice, and you said you've never read her.
Hey, Jane Austen died in 1817. So unless you got a Jane Austen hologram to have on the show, you need to culture yourself a little bit.
You know what's weirder, though, is I've never watched Pride and Prejudice, but I have watched Pride and Prejudice Zombies.
Zombies? Yeah. That was kind of like her other one she was writing, but it never made it to the show.
So what you're saying is Jane's not going to be on the show.
I mean, you want to get her on the show?
Yeah. It's unlikely.
You said she can call in, and I do a head turn. I do the skip, like the record skip. I'm like, hey, man. She died in 1817.
Was Pride and Prejudice written in the 1800s?
Yeah.
Was that early?
That's why it's celebrated. You ever heard of Pride and Prejudice?
I have heard of it, but I didn't realize it was written. So she died in 1817?
You know what? I'm going to tell you right now. You're here for like another, 10 minutes?
Probably.
You better do yourself a service here and start like getting back in good graces. Because you come out and say you don't know what Pride and Prejudice is, you don't know who Jane Austen is.
No, I said I didn't know who Jane Austen was.
You aren't helping the culture of the show right now. Okay? We would call us like a bunch of meathead jocks, and I don't want to. I don't want that show present. But
I mean, you look like one, but I am.
Know, but we gotta have more substance, man. All right, and wanting Jane Austen to come on our show.
We talk about bees on the show.
Yeah.
Who the hell else does that?
I talk about bees. I'm trying to help your brand out, Brent.
True.
We're gonna need to bring a Ouija board in here.
To talk about Trevor Lawrence some more. Let's go for Jane books reading.
I mean, what would we have to get to even have someone in the Jane Austen family if she died in 1817? That would be like her great niece.
Yeah,
however great that is.
Survived by her great niece. Let's give her a call.
Hey, Ancestor Day here on the Action Sports Jacks on ESPN.
I mean, she wrote Mansfield Park, Sense and Sensibility. What more do you want from the woman?
Sense and Sensibility.
You know that one, don't you?
I have heard of that.
What's it about?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you don't know what's going on. You got to start culturing yourself,
I seriously
Brent.
can't believe Jane. I thought Jane Austen was like a modern day author when you would say that.
Yeah.
You've said that countless times.
I had no idea where that came from, man. Like, unbelievable.
And that's the only Austen you can find spelled E-N. Like, I feel like it's more common than that.
No. I mean, we can type in famous Austins right now and see what pops up. Who's calling? Is the ghost of Jane Austen calling because she's mad?
Yeah.
What do we got here?
I've never laughed so much about somebody who's not alive. Not very nice.
Well, Brent, I mean,
it's been a couple hundred years. We're over it.
I think we're allowed to now. You know, I mean, I think when it was 1850, you were allowed to make fun of Jane Austen a little bit.
They're comfortable with it now.
Yeah, I think we're okay.
Sense and Sensibility tells the story of Dashwood sisters, Eleanor and that's an older name.
Yeah, and they're in the mischief.
Come of age.
Yeah,
yes.
but it's like a mischief thing. Then Pride and Prejudice, obviously,
but
it's a real rags to riches story. We're talking about Pride and Prejudice.
But did you know that Jane Austen's name was not actually on it? It just said Lady A.
Yes, exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm. There's a little bit of
common knowledge
controversy there.
What's that? I mean, she just
like, was that actually her?
Coos, how dare you, man? You not gonna speak about Jane Austen now, my girl Jane?
I'm joking.
All right.
What were we talking about?
I don't know.
You were doing Vegas odds.
No, that was like 10 minutes ago. That was like forever ago.
Show is so far off the rails, it's not even funny. But it's Friday.
We're just saying Zack Wilson.
Yeah, Zack Wilson's. Oh, but the name spelling. How it's Z-A-C-H and then my name is A-U-S-T-E-N after Jane Austen.
Just people
because
spell
my
it
mom was a
C-A-C-K.
fan. Yeah.
That's it. So, anyway, bottom line is, Zack Wilson, I don't think many people have said he's coming to Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows Trevor Lawrence. I do wonder where Zack Wilson goes. Pro Day, we knew it would wow people. I think there's some mystery left in this second, third, fourth quarterback off the board. The San Francisco trade makes that happen today, I believe, because I think what you've thought all along, even though you doubted yourself today on Trey Lance.
I know, man.
I still think Justin
ashamed.
Fields is very much in the mix. I think the fact that the Jets are not locked. See, I saw Graziano say the Jets, this obviously locks the Jets into taking quarterback because they don't want to move. I don't think that's what it means.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Jets are waiting around to see what if Deshaun Watson, this stuff goes, wait, and then we trade that pick and we get Deshaun Watson.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the Jets have so many more plays here, but they don't have to take quarterback. They still have Carolina who might want to dance with them.
Yeah.
They got Houston that wants to dance with them. I totally disagree with the folks that read into this to say, well, the Jets are definitely taking a quarterback because San Francisco didn't even call about him. There's two ways to look at it. One, more options to go for the Jets. Two, San Francisco is saying, hey, we're fine with Lance, and we know he's getting a number 3. We don't need to get to number 2.
Yeah.
So I think I'll be careful on what all transpired. I just don't think we know what the Jets are doing as much as everybody else feels like they know what the Jets are doing at number 2 and taking Zack Wilson. I'm not locked into that right now.
Yeah, and then they're definitely in the power position. And it makes you wonder. So, okay, San Fran, they got, what was it again? They got 2 first-rounders, and then obviously they gave up two first-rounders, future first-rounders, and then the pick 2. Okay, so, I mean, to trade up with New York, what are we talking about here, Brent? 3? 3 first-rounders?
It's probably not too much more.
I think it'd be an extra first. I honestly
maybe it's an extra first round.
Maybe. Okay, so for the sake of the argument here, let's say it's an extra first rounder. Okay, so 3 first rounders to trade up at number 2. Do you do that for Zack Wilson? Like, if you're Carolina, do you pull that trigger?
Yeah, if I think he's the guy, I do.
Yeah. Do you think he's the guy? I mean, I know you think he's good, but do you think he's 3 first round picks worthy?
If I was in Carolina's shoes and I'm starting over with Rule, I know it's year 2 for him, but starting over with new GM. I know Bridgewater's just a gap guy, and I'm not confident that he's going to be the guy. I'm wasting McCaffrey's years right now that I have him under contract. I like Zack Wilson.
Okay.
Like, I think, here's the best context of that. Would you wait for Mac Jones to be available potentially? Or do you go get Zack Wilson? And I love Mac, and I love that he's from Jacksonville.
Yeah.
But if I'm Carolina, I'm probably saying, you know what, I'm going to go up and get him.
Yeah.
And so that's how I would feel if I was Carolina. If I was a Panther fan, I'm hoping I go up to number 2 and get Zack Wilson. I hope I can do something to get. By the way, or Justin Fields. Again, it doesn't matter how you feel about it. I feel okay with either guy.
Yes.
But I'm going to number 2 to get my guy because I'm not waiting at number 8 because my guy's not going to be available most likely.
Okay, another scenario because this is fun. Let's assume that Robert Saleh really likes Sam Darnold for whatever reason. Okay, let's say he's going to give Sam Darnold another chance, and the goal of this draft is to give him weapons to be the all-telling sign right now. As I look down at the Jets depth chart right now, and I look at the running back position, you got LaMichael P. Ryan and Ty Johnson. Those names don't really jump out at you. LaMichael P. Ryan, former Florida Gator, right?
Yep.
But let's be honest, they don't really jump out at you as bona fide running backs. If you're Carolina, do you put McCaffrey into the mix and maybe take a first rounder away? Or maybe, I don't think you take 2 of them away from McCaffrey. I don't know. Maybe you do.
Well, because the hefty contract they're taking on as well. That's
but do you put up McCaffrey?
Listen, I would because I think you're already wasting years of McCaffrey.
Yeah.
And so if it helps me keep some draft capital, I wouldn't mind it.
Okay.
I wouldn't mind it. So I don't think they're going that route. I think they want McCaffrey to be a part of it because of the way they restructured him. But that doesn't rule it out. So, yeah, again, I'd be super aggressive if I was Carolina right now instead of waiting. I think one of those top guys, and again, fit. I don't feel the same about Mac Jones in Carolina as I do about him in some other places. I think Mac's going to be good. I just don't know if I see him in Carolina fitting as well as maybe some other spots. It doesn't feel that way to me. So But maybe Carolina thinks differently. And if they think they're high on Mac Jones, well, heck, then he's going to slip to him probably. I think Mac Jones most likely available for the Carolina Panthers, and then they don't have to move.
I'm sure you heard me talk about this, but I'll get your opinion real quick. Once again, Chris Sims come out and saying that he thinks that the 49ers should take the Mac Jones because he seems to be the most ready for the 49ers for whatever reason. That's what Chris Sims has said. Any buying in the narrative that Mac Jones is going to go to San Francisco at that number 3 spot?
No.
Yeah, and I don't buy into that either.
I just don't buy into it because we talked about it the other day. Earlier in the show, mobile quarterback. If you're Shanahan, you got guys with a different tool kit, right?
Yeah. Now,
their skill set's different.
Yep. Now, Mac Jones ran a 4.8, right? And Minshew ran a 4.9. Like, they can, at least Minshew, from his perspective, like, he can get out of trouble, and that's fine. But I think we're on the same page with what Shanahan's trying to do. It's more of like that threat of taking off and running with the ball at the quarterback position.
Mac Jones is going to run for a combined 64 yards in a season.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
I think he would say that.
Yeah.
And so these other guys might run for a couple hundred yards. I know that doesn't sound like much, but it's distinctly different in what they bring you in and potentially can do, depending on your offense, depending on your line, depending on how you. So I think. Again, I would still, as much as I love the local guy and want to root for Mac Jones, I think he's going to land in a great spot, by the way.
Yeah.
He's going to be a first-round guy. I still think that he's the 5th guy off the board.
We got some Jaguars news.
Oh, is it real? Confirmed?
That's a good call. Yeah, this is legit.
That's
all right, Brent. Eventually going to get there.
What's that, Josh Jones?
Yeah.
Josh Jones signing back with the Jaguars on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
I mean, it's okay news.
Okay.
The way you looked at it, you got a little excited. I was like, whoa, what's happening?
Oh, no.
I usually get like a text heads up if it's something significant.
Oh, no, it wasn't like that big. I'm sure, maybe leak one of those text one time. But just one time. But yeah, but don't. Dave's gone, so you're screwed. You're sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Never got much of that.
Sorry. And by the way, I've seen
much of that.
I've seen Bulky out in public a little bit too, and I'm starting to really. I haven't said anything to him yet, but I'm gonna nod at him one time and be like, "What's up, dude? How you doing?" Not even lying. I've seen him before.
So you like that? I mean, Josh Jones, okay, do anything for you?
It's depth, I think. Yeah.
Here's what I do like when teams. This is what the Jaguars are going to have to do, and you want to bring up Caldwell. I thought Caldwell was very good at this.
Mm-hmm.
He was good at not pigeonholing the team necessarily in a spot. Now, you could always say tight end has been void.
Yeah.
But when you go into that draft, you don't want to be tipping your hand at, well, we have an empty hole right here that we have to address. Mm-hmm. Many teams kind of know you have a hole in certain spots anyway, but you don't want to make it so obvious that you tip your hand and you have to push yourself up the board for a guy and reach. And the Jags have done that before. Quincy Williams was a reach pick because they didn't have a 4th-round pick and they didn't see another guy on the weak side for another couple of rounds that they liked. So they kind of reached for Quincy Williams, and they might be paying the price for that. We'll see if it ever works out. But this is one of those moves where you say the Jags need help at safety.
Yes.
Well, they bring back Josh Jones, and now they say, okay, we got a little bit more help at safety. Now, is it as glaring as Austin thought it was yesterday or 2 hours ago? Mm-hmm. Maybe not. So I think all teams try to do that, but they don't want to lock themselves into, at least from a mental standpoint or even from an external standpoint, I think that they have to take this position because it's lean.
Yeah.
Like, we already know the Jags have to take a tight end in this draft. But do they have to do it with the 33rd pick and reach for Freiermuth? Do they have to do it with the 45th pick and reach for Jordan? Mm-hmm. I don't know. We don't know. But it's better if nobody knows, and then you can put together your game plan. It's better if you're not forced into it if you're an NFL team.
Correct. Yeah, exactly. That is a luxury to have, is when, you're not pigeonholing yourself and it's like, well, we got to do that. There's no other choice. Like, yeah, the tight end, I mean, is Freiermuth the consensus number 2 tight end in this draft? I don't know, man. I'm going to be honest.
Like it.
Everyone's saying that, but is he truly coming off of the injury? I don't know. Now, they're going to have a good idea of him because, once again, we've echoed it on the show, where his old position coach is now the tight ends coach of the Jaguars. So, you like that. And I'm sure Urban Meyer loves that as well. But, is he the unequivocally number 2 tight end? I'll be honest, I have no idea. Now, we know where Kyle Pitts stands. Right? I think we can sit here and say, if you want to put a mortgage on it, Kyle Pitts is probably the best tight end out of this class. Now, we'll see in the next couple of years, and 4 or 5 years down the line, is it a George Kittle situation where someone kind of comes out of nowhere and surprises us. But where it sits right now, it's Kyle Pitts, and then maybe it's Jordan or maybe it's Freiermuth.
One other thing to get to real quick. Pro Football Focus ranked the NFL draft positions. And I want to get your thoughts. We'll run down it. You can check it out at pff.com, by the way. Shameless plug for you guys. Pro Football Focus.
You guys earned it.
This is telling to me, though, and I don't think this happens very often. We understand quarterback gets shoved up the draft board, but they're ranking the quarterback position as number 1 in the draft. That's how strong of a position it is. And I will say this, and maybe we talk about it a little bit next week. Did Kyle Trask go MIA? I mean, like, is he just like, nobody's talking about Kyle Trask?
Yeah.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to him? Like, is he slipping to like the 4th round?
It's just, he's the afterthought, Brent. I mean, he truly
But you
is.
get a guy that can put that season together. He's the 6th quarterback that potentially might take off the board. And by the way, he might be dropping.
I know.
And he put that kind of season together.
Well, no, and that's the thing, too. Like, I get it. He was in the Heisman running, all that stuff. But sometimes we put way too much stake in what the numbers say.
Yeah, I hear you.
You know? And that's
But
not
we
a knock
do
on
that.
Kyle, but we do that, right? I mean, that's what we do. But at the same time, and I can't remember the dude's name. The guy out of Hawaii, like, this was 8-9 years
When
ago.
He's playing for June Jones.
Well, yeah, he's a Heisman finalist, and he broke like all the NCAA records.
I know what you're talking about, too.
I mean, I think he got in some trouble after too. But like everyone was talking about him, Heisman hopeful, doesn't win it, and then goes to the NFL like nobody remembers him. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not to say it's gonna happen to Trask, but I'm just saying
It's a little bit different at Hawaii
I know,
than Florida.
I know.
Though.
It's
I mean, he did it in the SEC.
I
you
know.
Hey, so number 2 is offensive tackle. Again, no outside of Sewell, nothing great up top, but there's depth in this.
There's a guy from Northwestern too that people are pretty high on.
Listen, I think there are people like him. What I'm saying is what they're saying too is there's
Sewell's
depth from the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round where you might be able to find some depth guys, but you might not find that 10-time Pro Bowler. Like Jags took Cam Robinson and Juwan Taylor in hopes that they'll be very good. Now, I know what you're saying right now, Jags fan. I haven't seen that enough. But some drafts you can get that guy that you think might be a perennial Pro Bowl guy and really cash in on the value.
Kinda
I think
like
you're going to
Wirfs.
find value. Well, he's 1st round, but
I'm saying
that kind of player.
Yeah.
I think you're going to find value in the 3rd and 4th round, but more from a depth perspective. They rank the offensive tackle position 2nd, wide receiver 3rd, interior offensive line 4th, cornerback 5th. Linebacker 6th. Said there's a linebacker for everybody in the 1st round. You've talked about this. You can get that outside strong side guy. You get the middle guy.
Yeah.
So there's
some athletic freaks too.
Yeah. Well, we just saw it, right?
Yeah.
Penn State.
Yeah. 4-3. Excuse me.
Tight end 7th. Here's what they say about tight end because I know this is a big thing in Jacksonville.
Yep.
Most difficult one to slot into this list. The position saving grace is the existence of Kyle Pitts. Pitts a top 10 player on the board, even though PFF is notoriously low on the position from a draft value perspective. Vast majority of tight ends simply don't move the needle in the NFL, but Pitts is different. Those guys don't come around every year. After him, only Penn State's Freiermuth and Miami's Jordan cracked the top 100 on the draft board. The crazy thing is that even though it's a middling class, it's still light years better than the all-time bad class we saw a year ago. So keep in mind now, the Jags have 23 selections over 2 years. They've been void of really good tight end play, and they've also got stuck and maybe a little bit unlucky that they're talking about 2 draft classes where tight ends has not been deep at all.
Sure.
So it's a little unfortunate for the Jags in that sense. All these picks, you could spend them on tight ends even in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th round, but there are no good ones to take.
I'm trying to see the tight end class from last year.
Edge defenders listed number 8, 9 running back, 10 safety. So there's not a lot of depth at safety, another position in need for the Jaguars, and then 11 interior defensive line.
So real quick, though, you know what's interesting about that tight end class from last year is nobody went in the 1st round, obviously, at tight end position. But you had a run. Well, you had Cole Kmet go 2nd, which was he was the number 1 dude. Goes to the Bears, which was kind of shocking. But then in the 3rd round, Brent, you had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tight ends taken in the 3rd round. 5.
3rd round.
In the 3rd round.
Wow.
5 tight ends taken. And
Any of them
obviously,
good? Hard to tell right now.
No, I mean, honestly, I'm looking at the names here, like Adam Trotman, Devin Asai, Cole Kmet. Cole Kmet was the 2nd round pick. Yeah, so you had 5 guys going in the 3rd round. So it goes to show you, though, that even though and let's be honest, there wasn't value last year. They even said themselves. But even though there wasn't value, teams are willing to take a swing.
Yeah.
And try to get that game-changing tight end still.
Well, and you know what? We've said it. We say it all the time.
Yeah.
Those 3rd round guys, if 5 of them, 2 of them might emerge to be really good players, but it just might take 3
Maybe.
years to do it.
Maybe.
That's that nature of that position. It takes some time sometimes to develop it.
But have you heard any of these names, like Dalton Keene?
Is that where'd the FAU kid go? Is he?
So he went the fourth round to the Cleveland Browns. Yeah.
What's his name again?
Harrison Bryant.
Harrison Bryant.
Yeah. But it makes you wonder though, when you got guys like Freiermuth, and then you got guys like Jordan. I mean, you may have to reach up to get those dudes.
And I'm all for the Jags reaching up to get a tight end.
Yeah.
I think they almost had that. If the Jags show me they're a little desperate to get a tight end, I almost think that would be appreciated by the fans.
Yeah.
I think it's like, all right, fine. Do whatever you got to do. We need the spot.
Well, let's be honest. We talked about how we'd be disappointed if they didn't get a Hunter Henry or they didn't get a Jonnu Smith. They got neither of them. Will you be disappointed? Now, Kyle Pitts would be, that would be the cherry on top.
But one of those three guys?
Are we disappointed if you don't get Kyle Pitts, you don't get Freiermuth, you don't get Jordan? Are you disappointed?
Yeah, I am, but I think that's a bigger crapshoot than not get. I thought they had a better chance. There's a better chance they could have got one of the free agents than there is a better chance they get one of those three guys.
Sure.
You're talking a lot of picks in front of you, even though you have a lot. So, but I know where you're coming from, and probably, I think I would. I'd be less than wowed if they got somebody other than those three guys.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
They're going to have to hit on something we don't think is great.
Zach Ertz. Let's go. Get him. Bring him here.
And that's still a possibility. All right, we got to take a break. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690. Austin's going to bring it home from here. Have a good weekend. Restaurant of the day, Willie Jewell's Old School Barbecue. Before we hit the break, let's do the happy hour horn, Coos.
Taste the islands and every drop of Vida de Luis tequila. 100% blue agave from Tequila, Mexico. Good vibes.
It's a celebration!
Good reminder by Coos there. Vida de Luis, Taste the Islands, and every drop imported directly from Tequila, Mexico to Jacksonville Beach. Vida de Luis, the only locally owned tequila in Jacks Beach. Support local. Try Vida de Luis at VitaDeLuis.com. Blanco, Reposado, or Añejo. VitaDeLuis.com. Support local. Taste the Islands in every drop. Hope you have a good happy hour on this Friday and have a good weekend as well. Austin takes it home from here. Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Now, the first alert forecast on ESPN 690.
Fair to partly cloudy tonight as temperatures drop into the low 60s. Some fog to start your Saturday, then a hot day. The afternoon high around 90. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm Action News Jack's Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
The Weather Center is brought to you by Beard's Diamonds, where right now you can get 5 years, zero interest financing with nothing down.
Hey, boss, how's it going?
How's it going? Oh, let me tell you how it's going. So far this year, I've broken my pinky toe, had a flat tire, and currently I'm trying to pass a kidney stone the size of Rhode Island.
Well, karma strikes again.
What?
Nothing. Oh, look, it's the first Crooks Are Us survey of 2021. They're asking crooks like us to list the top reasons we avoid safe touch houses.
There's the crash and smash technology, the video monitoring.
Yeah, but what's number one?
Gotta be the two-way communicator.
That's what I said.
Oh, yeah. The two-way communicator leads to verified alarms, which lead to faster response times, which are all very bad for us crooks.
Which all just circles back to the Crooks Are Us golden rule. Stay away from safe touch houses.
Yeah, thanks, Captain Obvious.
Crooks know to stay away from Safe Touch houses. Hi, I'm Lester Jackson, president of Safe Touch Security Systems. No one beats our technology or our price.
Call Safe Touch today at 888-723-8682 or go to safetouch.com. State license number EF233.
Life is complicated. We all know it, and all can use the proper support system. You know what else can be complicated? Owning a home. And that's why Rex was built to go beyond the simple real estate transaction. Full-service agents for buying and selling, mortgage services, insurance quotes, escrow and title, even home repair, all one call away. I guess you could call Rex your home support system and not a typical brokerage. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. Want more? Of course you do. With all that convenience comes reduced fees too. In fact, the average Rex homeowner saves over $10,000 when buying and selling a home. Want to get started? It's never too soon. Call 833-REX-HOME. That's 833-739-4663. 833-739-4663. Florida license number CQ1057788. For further licensing disclosures, please visit rexhomes.com.
Watch Tanika Hughes and John Bachman on Action News Jacks at 5, 6, and 11.
We make it a point to cover important local news you need to know about.
Perspective is important. It's not just what happened, it's the reason why it happened and how that impacts you.
Plus, it's where you'll find the Chief Meteorologist Mike Burrish.
Weather is always changing, and my forecast will help you plan your day and week ahead.
Watch and you'll see why CBS 47 and Fox 30 is local coverage you can count on.
Got a business trip, long weekend, or maybe you just really want to try that new Toyota before you buy it? Then get it all when you rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. With easy online reservations and rental rates as low as $19.95 a day, there's nothing stopping you from hitting the open road. You can even rent 2021 models. Rent a Toyota from Arlington Toyota. Try it before you buy it and reserve your rental online at arlingtontoyota.com today.
Home Builders Institute is a national leader for career training in the building industry and provides students the skills and experience they need for successful careers. HBI training programs are taught in local communities across the country to youth, veterans, displaced workers, and other underserved populations. These programs do more than just provide job skills. They also build character and self-esteem, helping to provide students with the skills they need to succeed on the job and in life. Learn more at hbi.org.
Smoothie King is blending goodness to fuel your greatness. They make sure every blend is crafted to help you achieve your health and fitness goals. Smoothie King uses whole fruits and only organic veggies. You'll never find any sugary syrups or artificial flavors, colors, or preservatives in the smoothies. And unlike some other smoothie places, there are 0 grams of added sugar in many of the blends. Skip the line and place your order online now at smoothieking.com for contactless pickup or delivery. Smoothie King, rule the day. It's been 6 months since my wife leased her new Cadillac from Fields Auto Group, and she absolutely loves it. It's our first experience with Fields, and it's been terrific. They say you can step up to luxury for less, and we did. Not just a luxury Cadillac XT6. The car is beautiful, but the customer service is extra special, too. It was like that at Fields Cadillac Jacksonville, and it will be like that at any of the Fields locations in Jacksonville. Cadillac, of course, Jaguar, Land Rover, Lexus, Mercedes-Benz, and Porsche as well. Yes, it's luxury for less at all Fields Auto Group locations in Jacksonville. Plus, you'll also be part of their exclusive Fields Amenities program, where you will get complimentary loaners, car washes, and cafes. We are now part of that Fields Amenities program, and my wife tried the loaner program. It was easy and a nice added benefit. So whatever you're driving, see Fields and step up to luxury for less. Check out their locations all around Jacksonville, just like we did. You can go visit fieldsauto.com. We should always be looking at our finances, but 2020 made my family take an even closer look, a bit more of a deeper dive, and it might have done the same for you, even into the world of retirement. Although that's a bit down the road for me, it might be closer for you, and your plan should already be under a microscope, and you have to lean on the experts to help guide the right plan. My friend Mike Lester with Talon Wealth Management is the perfect partner. He will provide a complimentary analysis and a plan for you. Call him at 904-515-5000 or visit guardingyournestegg.com. That's 904-515-5000 or guardingyournestegg.com. Mike will give you the guidance you need as retirement gets closer. He can help you convert company plans to private plans, a move that might give you higher returns and more options. You've earned the money. Now make sure you are ready for whenever retirement will be. Call Mike Lester at Talon Wealth Management, 904-515-5000. That's 904-515-5000. Or visit guardingyournestegg.com.
Do you constantly outperform your peers? Do you enjoy setting challenging goals and then exceeding them? And do you want a job where you can determine the size of your paycheck? If so, you could be suited for a career in advertising with Cox Media Group, because we're searching for self-motivated professionals to join the advertising sales team in our North Florida office. This media consultant position requires an outgoing, confident, and driven person who will seek out business owners in North Florida and help grow their businesses with innovative marketing solutions. The ideal candidate will have a basic knowledge of both traditional and digital advertising. Cox Media Group Jacksonville offers a team environment based on excellence and customer-focused selling, with unlimited earning potential, the best benefits in the industry, and ongoing training and advancement opportunities in markets nationwide. To apply for the media consultant position, email your resume to jaxjobs@cmg.com. That's JAXJOBS@cmg.com. Or call 245-8732. 245-8732.
Smoked for hours, served in minutes. Now that sounds like good barbecue, and it is at Willie Jewell's in St. Augustine at Mirabella Crossing. Open 7 days a week. It's old school barbecue. Trivia night on Monday. Kids eat free on Wednesdays. Check out the Willie Jewell's app and catering for all events. Voted best wings in St. Augustine as well. Visit williejewels.com and visit Willie Jewell's at Mirabella Crossing in St. Augustine. Old school barbecue, smoked for hours, served in minutes at Willie Jewell's.
This is Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
Welcome into the show, a name you know. If you've been listening and watching ESPN for a long time, I know you know him. We're going to call him one of the forefathers, if you will, of sports radio, Mike Greenberg.
Thank you. Forefathers is an interesting, that's fascinating. Every day, as I talk to more people, I get older and older. So that's kind of funny.
Listen weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. in your car or stream them. ESPN690.com.
Brent Martineau.
The freaking Jacksonville Jaguars are 14-12 all time against one of the best organizations, quite frankly, in all of sports.
Austin Lane.
Get him, Brent. Get him, Brent.
Action Sports Jacks on ESPN 690.
What happened here is that the 49ers have been trying to move up in the draft into the top 5, frankly, for the last few weeks now. And they were able to cull together a deal with the Miami Dolphins at the same time that the Dolphins were culling together a separate deal with the Philadelphia Eagles that enabled the 49ers to move up to the 3rd overall position to take a quarterback. And that means in all probability that we're going to have quarterbacks go with the first 3 picks in this draft. We would think Trevor Lawrence goes 1, Zack Wilson 2, and then the 49ers would have their choice, assuming they stay at 3, for the 3rd quarterback in this draft. I would not dismiss Mac Jones from that conversation. They like Trey Lance. They like Justin Fields. They're going to continue to do more and more work here in the weeks leading up to the draft. But they wanted to get into this slot now so that they could have their choice at 3, knowing that they would get one of these quarterbacks.
Interesting that Adam Schefter, obviously.
Yes.
Point for me. Sorry, Brent. It's interesting that he mentioned Mac Jones as well. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just a smokescreen. I gotta think it's a smokescreen. I just have a hard time picturing the 49ers trading up, giving up all that capital for Mac Jones. And once again, no disrespect to Mac Jones. You know, he's a local kid. Great story. We wish him nothing but the best. But I just think of, in terms of a quarterback that would fit that Shanahan mold and what he's trying to do in that offense, you got to go Trey Lance or maybe Justin Fields. But I just can't see them going with Mac Jones, because essentially what you're going with Mac Jones is, it's comparable to Jimmy Garoppolo, I feel like, where Garoppolo's not the most mobile guy, right? He makes some pretty sound decisions. He's obviously can't stay healthy every season. But, you're getting rid of a guy in Jimmy Garoppolo that's not the most mobile guy, and you're going to bring in a guy in Mac Jones that fits kind of the mold a little bit? Nah, man. I think you're going super athletic. I think you're going Trey Lance for sure, or possibly Justin Fields. Austin Lane, welcome back here, ESPN 690 in Action Sports Jacks. We're going through the last break of the show, getting ready for the weekend. Kuz, any big plans?
No, not this weekend. Gonna be a little chill after the bachelor party weekend last week.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Have you recovered and everything?
Recovered, but the bank account hasn't recovered, so we're gonna lay low.
Smart.
Maybe not spend money.
Well, that's the one thing when you go out of casino sometimes, man. It can be a good thing or it can be a bad thing. But since we're towards the end of the show right now, and obviously Brent Martineau, wishing best of luck to Ty Guy out there. I think he's got a game, so Brent's on his way to go check that out. Oh, and a little update about my son. I showed you the picture.
Rough.
Well, yeah, so we have a new picture. Now the cut is all cleaned out. And needless to say, Kuz, we're going to have to find the sharpest knife that you can find, because there's no way he's not going to get more than 6 stitches in his knee.
Okay.
I'm thinking at least probably 12, because this thing, you can... And I don't want to freak people out or anything, because, he's fine. And he's in good spirits. But we're talking, you can kind of see the bone a little bit, the kneecap. So it's nasty, but my son's in super good spirits, which is awesome. And it's funny because, you know how I am, right? I don't love cuts. I don't love getting injured, but there's kind of a part of me that's like, heck yeah, I can show off this new scar or this new cut. And this is coming from a 33-year-old grown man, and I still feel that way. But, like, my wife's been saying Ronan's been the same way in the hospital. Like, he's super pumped up for the stitches. He's excited for the bandages and kind of show everybody off. You know, like he's showing his cut to all the nurses right now.
Yeah.
And, yeah, my wife is like, he's walking around like he's the king because all the nurses are coming up to him to check on him. So, man, you know, it's one of those things where it's always a trip that your son or like your child can take after your mannerisms and your personality. It's a pretty cool thing, even though obviously he's getting stitches and that's fun for nobody, but it's all good though. But Kuz, the reason why I brought up, you know, it's the last segment of the show. Let's go out in style. I've set you up a couple times this week on the Trevor Tracker, and let's be honest, you're behind. You're 0-2 in the count right now. Okay? You're 0-2 in the count right now.
I think I did great.
It's been a disaster. It's been a social disaster. I'm going to give you one more chance.
Right.
Before we go off the air.
Yeah.
Trevor Tracker Requiem, let's just call it.
Okay.
Can you redeem yourself? And do you have anything good for me today on the Trevor Tracker? Let's go to it, Kuz.
Well, so I was thinking about music for Trevor Tracker.
Okay.
Like, we need something.
Well, hey, you got to earn that music, right? Because, like I've said, you've gone off the rails, and it's been a disappointment the past couple times. Okay.
You like this? Like, it's like a Radar vibe?
I'm just saying.
It's kind of spacey, though, is the problem.
No, here's the problem. No, I love the music. I think the music works great for the Trevor Tracker. The problem, though, is do you have the content ready because with this theme song?
Oh, well,
Because if you're going to play this theme song, which I'm a fan of, I like it, you better bring something other than his fiance got her identity stolen. I'm just telling you right now, man.
Okay, so you may or may not know this, but last week, Justin Bieber came out with an album. Okay?
I don't like where this is going, but go on.
Trevor Lawrence is apparently a huge fan.
How? Why? And
he posted on his Instagram a picture of. He also uses Apple Music, by the way,
in
case anybody's interested.
Yep.
Trevor Lawrence is a huge Justin Bieber fan, at least of the album Justice. He put up a picture of it. He said, "Straight hitters, my guy," and added Justin Bieber.
I find myself, Kuz, that was great, but it wasn't great. Because now here's where I'm sitting.
Okay.
I find myself in the unique circumstance because we've been over this. We haven't been over this on the air, but we've been over this personally as friends. You know how I feel about Justin Bieber. Okay?
Yeah.
Not the biggest fan of Justin Bieber.
Right.
Okay? Not even a fan. Get the music going here.
Yeah, okay.
So I find myself in the unique circumstance here where Trevor Lawrence is obviously coming to Jacksonville. It's nothing but just a
Does this mean Justin
formality.
Bieber's about to be a Jags fan?
Well, this is what I was getting to.
Okay.
You know how Justin Bieber jinxes every single team that he cheers for?
That's Drake.
No, it's Justin Bieber, too. Justin Bieber wore a Toronto Maple Leafs jersey one time. And, hey, what have the Maple Leafs done? And you're not a hockey fan. Spoiler alert.
Not much.
That much.
Okay.
The music, I mean, yeah, listen, it's not for me, okay? Like, this is coming from a guy who's done some stuff on the ape side of things on a top 40 station. I'm not going to lie. I'm
whole, with you on that, though.
The whole I'm So Lonely song. And once again, this, I mean, and it's a great song if you're listening to the top 40 on the ape.
Right.
But me on the sports show saying this, not a fan.
I am with you in that aspect. I will say, I was literally texting with friends this morning saying, that one of the songs that he has on the newer album, I was like, I'm kind of ashamed to admit that I'm like, this actually isn't horrible.
Okay. Well,
but I understand where you're coming from because it's Justin Bieber. There's like a whole thing to it.
Well, Justin Bieber shield Justin Kuzar talking about how good Justin Bieber is, and that's fine.
Hey, I'm just trying to get in good with Trevor Lawrence so we can get him on the show.
Well, okay, and here's where I'm sitting. Okay, and I'm careful how I'm going to word this. I'm going to get some blowback, and that's fine. I don't want my starting quarterback giving Justin Bieber props. There, I said it. Okay, I'm not happy about it.
Can you imagine that locker room listening to some Justin Bieber "Lonely" right before a football game?
Because it's such a. And once again, I'm on the top 40 side of things too, so I got to be careful what I say here.
Uh-huh.
It's not a good song. He's whining. You're lonely? Dude, you make $80 million a year. You can buy some friends if it comes down to it. Don't sit here and sing about your problems, okay? We're going through a pandemic right now, and you're lonely. You got $80 million. Cry me a river, Justin Bieber. And you're married to Haley Baldwin. I don't even know who Haley Baldwin is, but guess what?
Alec Baldwin's daughter.
Okay, I've seen pictures.
Yeah. You're not lonely.
Yeah. Yeah.
The other thing, by the way, you pointed this one out. He commented about Zack Wilson's pro day and said sheesh, or Trevor Lawrence did.
Yeah, about a throw.
Yeah, about a throw.
So we get it's so crazy sometimes. I don't know how to I'm like a 6-year-old sometimes when it comes to expressing my anger. Okay, I don't like my starting quarterback talking about Justin Bieber, and I don't like my starting quarterback giving the number 2 quarterback all these props. Trevor Lawrence, yeah, he threw a good ball at the end there. Zack Wilson did a good job, but guess what? You're the man. Don't anybody tell you differently, okay? It's just, it was the Justin Bieber stuff, man. It's a bummer.
I'm just telling you that what if a Bieber song becomes the song of the year? Like for the Jags, that's the season song.
Stop though,
I know, I don't want to talk it into existence. I'm just saying.
You are. That's exactly what you're doing. You're talking it into existence on a radio show that covers thousands and millions of people around the world.
Right.
So don't say that.
But I'm just saying, we need to have that expectation set.
Okay. I'm telling you right now, and Brent's not here to back me up, and that's fine. The Trevor Tracker's done. Okay,
I think it did good.
Because the Trevor Tracker has done nothing but frustrate me. I wanted to go home, make sure my son's doing okay. And guess what? Now I'm going to tell him, hey, buddy, hope those stitches are fine. I got to take a 10-minute drive by myself. Because Dad's got to blow off some steam because Coos can't do the Trevor Tracker right.
How mad will you be if it's a Justin Bieber Band-Aid that he has all over the stitches?
Do they make Justin Bieber Band-Aid?
I have no idea.
Hey, the first thing I would do, we rip that right off. All right? We rip off Justin Bieber Band-Aids in the Lane family.
Yeah.
Enough said. Well, this has been fun. I'm glad I asked about the Trevor Tracker. Whatever. Hey, y'all have a great weekend. Our starting quarterback's a big Justin Bieber fan. Whatever. Have a good weekend. Stay safe. All that good stuff. I'm Austin Lane. Justin Kuzar. Brent Martineau says what's up and whatever. I'm not a Justin Bieber fan. Peace.
ESPN 690 SportsCenter Update.
Happy Friday. I'm Jake Mitchell. With the new format for the Combine this year, teams are relying more heavily on pro days, and the Penn State Nittany Lions showed out. Jason Owe, an edge rusher, recorded a 4.36 40, and he's 6'5" and 257 pounds. It was